Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Brad and I are finishing our top 100 games of all time. We are now in the top 10. We're finally done.
Yeah,
We're about to,
this will be the one video we get comments on because none of the
right?
other
Yeah,
ones we
probably. I've gotten a few surprisingly on
yeah,
the t top 30. They're like, "Hey, great list." I'm like,
yeah.
"Interesting." I couldn't tell you what we talked about because it's it's just insane as we do this list. Like we're already halfway through the second month in 2026, so in 10 more months we'll be here talking about games and nothing will be the same. Um, yeah. Obviously top 10 games of all time. That is, am I sharing my screen? Nope.
No, it's just your
Nope.
face.
I'm, oh, so let's go ahead and share.
And now it says my
I
name
will,
really big. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I will say I think the Board Game Geek, having that pulled up was a success.
I think so.
Um,
Why does it
unless,
say my name across it? It says my name like in the background across the behind the it's like shadowy across the BGG.
I have no
You can
idea.
barely see it. It just says my first name. Just it's like going at like a 45-degree angle, a shadow of it, like going over the BGG page.
I really could not tell you.
That's funny.
Um, well, not entirely sure about that, so maybe I spoke too soon about Board Game Geek working. Anyway, here we are finally talking about the top 10 games for 2025. And boy, it's a fucking doozy. I have four that rose, two that fell, three new ones, and one that stayed the same.
I don't have any new ones. I have three.
Boring.
I have three that fell. I have five that rose, and two stayed the same.
Nice. Okay, so also, since I was such a savant at guessing exactly what one of your top tens was, I have also written down
Oh, okay.
your entire top 10.
Okay.
Um, do I think any of these are right besides the one that I actually guessed? No. But if
Well, I know what your
I
number two is, but that's all I know.
Oh,
So,
we'll get there.
yeah.
I if I even get half of these correct, then you gotta start mixing it up next year.
I can't mix up what I like, man.
I know. You gotta just throw in some fucking dog shit game in your
Yes.
top 10 just to really like mess with everything. Well, actually, it'll probably be
That new game Winnie the Pooh Detective. That'll be my in my top 10 next year.
your number two. Um, it's gonna be Cozy Stickerville, calling it.
I don't know about that. It might be. Hell, I don't
Um,
know. I haven't played it yet.
right? Yeah. Well, actually, it might change up more next year by us doing the average
Right. Yeah.
of games. That'll probably be pretty solid.
Yep.
Anyway, without further ado, Brad, kick us off with number 10.
All right. My number
Also,
10.
I don't want to spoil it, but I do have them written, so I'm not gonna be sitting here going
Well,
like,
no,
I got it right.
well, do you want to say what, like, if this is right, like, after I say it? Is that what you're
I
gonna do?
Yeah, if it's
Don't
on if
say
I
what
have
you
it
guessed, but,
I do have it numbered, but there's no way that if I'm pretty sure I just really got Burncycle. Um, but I will tell you that if you mention any of these games on here,
okay.
then I'll bring it up.
Okay. So my number 10, you've already talked about, I believe. It was my number five last year. It fell 10 spots because I kind of wanted to take a little bit of, I took a couple months off of this game because there was just so much coming. I was so far behind. I've started playing it again. It's got, I'm back in the groove of it again. Hence, that's why it just fell to five spots, and that's Marvel Champions.
Marvel
Um,
Champions. I have
yeah.
that as your number seven.
Oh, okay. So Marvel Champions, like what you spoke, like you and I both have everything for this game. And there at this point, there's so many damn heroes. There's so many villains out there. You've got, with your ally cards and your all the henchmen, the villains and all that different stuff. There's just shit everywhere with this game. Um, I haven't played through everything yet, obviously. I haven't done like I haven't done the Loki one. I haven't done the Synthezoid whatever takeover, whatever that one
Oh
was.
yeah.
And then I haven't done Civil War or the the one right the campaign one right before Civil War, the agents one.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, there it is. It
Shield.
is
Agents of the
Shield.
Shield one. Yeah, I haven't done those. But I will get them played. But yeah, this one is a super solo game. That's one thing you're going to see on this top 10 is the majority of these games in this top 10, I prefer playing solo, actually, or two people at the very most. Um,
Yeah,
and this
definitely
one,
for this one.
yeah, this one's I two-handed. I play two heroes, um, solo just because I like having support and attacker. You kind of get hamstrung if you go do one hero, and it's a little tougher, I think. But yeah, I mean, like everything you said, I think with last segment you talked about Marvel Champions, I want to say, but um, it's still good and they're still coming out with shit. I just got charged for the Hercules and whatever the next one was.
Wonder
It was
Man.
Hercules and Wonder Man, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they're right here.
which I haven't watched the Wonder Man new show that's out. Apparently, it's supposed to be the best show that they've put out TV show wise,
I
is what
thought they were
everybody's
done.
saying.
Are they still doing TV
No,
shows?
Wonder Man just is seasons,
Oh,
I think, done, and apparently everybody's like saying it's better. It's the best Marvel straight to Disney Plus streaming that's they've put out. Even better than, I mean, all of them. So I don't know. I
wow.
haven't watched it, but that's just what the hype is right now. So
That would be wild because I know WandaVision and Loki are really high regarded. I like those quite a bit, and then it kind of went downhill.
yeah,
Um, I'm so far out of the loop on the MCU stuff. Like I know the new Avengers, Doomsday
right.
is coming, and I'm like, I don't really care anymore. And I was
Yeah.
all in on it. Like I was like every movie, every TV show. But
Yeah, I'll go watch that movie, but I don't it's not like I'm super excited like I was with
yeah,
Infinity War and all that.
I
But this
know.
this game was like over the last several years, like the first year I had it at 3, then it was 1, 1, 2, 5, and then 10. So this was my number one game for 2 years in a row back in
Yeah.
the day. But yeah, I mean, Marvel Champions, they keep pumping crap out, and I keep, thanks to that subscription service, I
Oh,
keep
I
getting us
know.
sent to
Yeah, thank God.
it. But yeah, that's my number 10, Marvel
Nice.
Champions.
Yeah, you can actually see that it's set up right
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
me.
I saw that. Yep.
I just got done fighting Thanos and it did not go well. It it's just I'm using because I'm randomizing the heroes and for
Uh-huh.
that box set it ended up being Hulk and Spider-Man. Uh so like core box heroes.
Yeah, Hulk isn't great.
No, he's not because it's like I really need Spider-Man's not awesome either.
Right.
Uh they they both have difficulty dealing damage because their cards cost so much. Yeah, Marvel Champions was my 36.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I couldn't remember how high I got it.
I mean, they'll probably be higher after I'm done if I don't get burned out. Surprisingly, with how many times I've been playing it, I haven't been burned out by it. So,
Okay.
yeah, great pick. All
All
right, well,
right.
I'm 1 for 1 so far on your top 10.
You didn't guess the position though.
No, I don't need to guess the position. Come on. I just got to guess the game. Um, my number 10, Rose actually, and it was, let's see. It was number 22 last year, so it rose 12 spots, sneaking into the top 10. And this is a game that I have shown you, but not at its optimal player count. And that is Thunder Road Vendetta.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. I've thought about picking it up, but I would never have the big enough group to make it
Right?
good, I don't think.
It definitely it's kind of interesting that at 2 it's fine. I mean, you want more people for this game for absolute max chaos. Uh, and this is one of those games that when I heard about it, I was like, I would probably hate this because it's pure random,
Right.
just nonsense through and through. But I had a buddy of mine, he was like, dude, you gotta just give it a shot. And I'm like, I don't even remember. I just ended up backing it one year. I'm like, all right, well, whatever, I'll give it, I'll try it. And it's just so much fucking fun. At two, it is fine. Like you could still kind of see what the game is about, but because of the sheer nature of the game, you want more people. And hell, even at three, you just the fun factor jumps drastically by even
Hmm.
adding one other person. And when you add another person and then another person, it's just I mean it's Mad Max the game.
Right.
You have these different boards. What's really cool is you just have all these different boards that you can just shuffle, and it's going to give you a different type of terrain that you're going to have to maneuver, and you have to go through so many boards before the finish line shows up. But everyone has these dice that they use as like kind of like their action system that will determine how they're going to move one of their three cars. But you can also slot the die into like having a helicopter come down and you're trying to shoot uh, your your enemies and cause them to crash. You can actually, whenever you're moving, um, yeah, here we go. Whenever you're moving your cars, if you have a higher like a bigger car, you can ram into a smaller car and that can cause either you or them to crash into the wall or to, move and then cause them to land on one of these hazards, which might be an oil slick, which might cause them to move. It's just it's insane. Um, this ends up being one of those games that as you are playing it, you're like, I rolled really well for my movement, so I can either take the lead or I can jump off of this ramp through a ring of fire and land on my enemy, and we'll just see what happens. And nine times out of 10, you're going to do that.
Right.
So they have tons of different modules for this. They have a big rig module. I haven't played it, but like it's an oil tanker or gas tanker that runs through. There's motorcycles, and then if you want to add a little bit more variety, you can have special abilities for your character instead of just everyone having the same abilities because the abilities are down here. Um, it's just pure absolute fun. And this is a game that anytime I can go to a game day where there is at least four, it's a game I always end up bringing with me. So I
Yeah.
think that that's worthy of a top 10 spot if it's a game that it's like, I'm just always going to bring this because I want to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I can
that's
see
my
that
number
for sure.
10,
All right.
Thunder
Good
Road
choice.
Vendetta. I have not tried the expansion yet, though. The
It's the
Battle Dome.
Carnival of Chaos or whatever.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, it is it's like a battle dome.
Yeah, you're just going all over, like big circles and shit, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was another game that came out, or it went
Joyride?
on Kickstarter, but I ended up not backing it
Was it
because it,
Joyride?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I play tested it at Gen Con like 2 years ago, but I was like, this feels like great value, Thunder Road
Hmm.
Vendetta.
Well, I
So,
know we're talking dollars here and stuff, but like with the amount of money that we spend on these big Kickstarters, like the maximum Chrome edition for this was like 170
yeah.
to get all that stuff, So it's like, that was pretty reasonable for
Oh
all the
yeah.
cool stuff you get in there.
And I do got to do a shout out because they did the one thing that no company has figured out what to fucking do.
Hmm.
And whenever you have the Maximum Chrome edition, it's like filled to the top with their like their stuff like this. Very awesome vacuum sealed insert. And a lot of companies, whenever they make an expansion, it's like, oh, okay, great. Now I just have the expansion box. But they added this like board, like this box extender that it's like a square side and you just slide it in to the box. And then you take the tray from the expansion and you just put it into
Hmm.
the core box. And there you go. Don't need to have the expansion box lying around. So I just thought that that was genius. That's all any company needs to do if they don't want you to have a bunch of boxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
So that's my
All
number
right.
10.
All right. My number 9 was number 14 last year, so it crept up 5 spots. And this one is widely renowned as the best solo game of all time. Um, and you asked a question this morning, or yeah, it was this morning when I was asking about Voidfall. Um,
Oh yeah, that
th
wasn't like
this is
6
pro
a.m.
yeah, this is probably the heaviest game I've actually played enough of, and that's Mage Knight Ultimate Edition.
I
Is that
have
on?
that no, it is not. I do not have
Okay,
Mage Knight.
okay,
To be fair, I had like 5 games that I was like, I'm pretty sure these are on here, and then I was
right.
I was wildly guessing. I can't wait to. I'm pretty sure I'll probably just get like, if I had to guess, I might get half of these.
Okay,
In
we'll
fact,
see.
I might have put one on here that you might have already mentioned. Anyway,
Oh, okay. So yeah, Mage Knight Ultimate Edition. And this is it's a heavy one. I mean, I know you've played this too.
hmm
Um, it's a deck building, game. You're roaming around the map doing different things. The art is awesome on the cards. It's a long experience. Like this is one I don't think I would ever play with more than one person. Like I couldn't. A game of this takes me almost 3 hours solo. Um,
I mean, there's not
and
really much to do with another person.
well, right,
Like,
but I mean, there's competitive scenarios. I mean, you can
oh
you can play
God.
competitive, or you can play the cooperative. With 2 to 4 player cooperative. But I only will do it solo. The Ultimate Edition specifically because it has all of the original expansions. And then I got ticked off because they announced the Apocalypse Dragon, which better frickin' fit in the Ultimate Edition box because or else I'm going to be rather upset.
You know
I'm
it's
I'm
not
I'm
going
sure
to.
I'm sure a 3D insert would fix that. I mean, I have no doubts it'd fit because it's not a monster sized expansion box. But
Yeah.
what I love about the expansion and what it's going to bring to it though is it is bringing in like a campaign aspect to it. It's a story driven campaign mode. So I'm
Oh,
excited
okay.
for that because it's going to turn a single scenario based epic adventure game, and it's going to actually make it a story-driven campaign. So I'm
hmm
curious how that's going to work. I mean, I'm definitely going to go for it. I have this actually pre-ordered, the expansion, so we'll see.
Nice.
It brings in a new playable hero um,
Okay.
from and then there's new enemies. You have the four horsemen and the Apocalypse Dragon and all this stuff. So it looks like something pretty cool. It was just annoying when I first heard it. I was like, "Are you seriously?" This was pre my before I had my 3D printer. I was like, "What?" You
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I mean, this game it's very, you really have to. There's a lot to keep track of. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's not an easy game at all to win. I mean, you're constantly like, feel like the thumb of the game is on you all the time.
Yeah.
But I like that. Solo game that goes 3 hours. Um, I leave it set up and I can run through a few scenarios. And how can you make that better? Story-driven campaign mode, and that's what
That's how you
I'm
make any
really
game
pumped for
better.
that. So I'm hoping that comes out. Supposed to come out like early this year, here in the next month or two, I think. And if it's as good as they say, then hello, top expansions of 2026. But
Yeah, who? Oh yeah, it's WizKids.
right,
And I thought it was who originally made this?
it's so it
CGE, right?
no, it's always been WizKids.
Has it always been
Yeah,
WizKids?
the reason is because the Mage Knight license is WizKids, the Hero Clicks, because it was a Hero Clicks RPG
Oh,
game,
okay.
and Mage Knight's always been a Hero Clicks deal with Mage Knight, and has always had the
Oh,
RPGs and all that
that's
stuff.
that's interesting. The Ultimate Edition has Paul Grogan as a
Well,
um
he helped.
designer.
What was the story with that? There was a story with that because I think he helped overhaul the solo mode.
Okay.
I want to say I may be
I know
speaking
this is his
incorrectly,
favorite
but
game of all time.
right. So
Um,
I never played the original, like the original version of this. I owned it,
yeah.
but I never really played it a whole lot. And I got the ultimate, and that's where I'm doing it because it just has everything with it. So I'm this one because it's such a good solo game. It is super heavy. It's like a 4.66
Yeah,
weight.
that's huge.
So yes, this is probably the heaviest game I played because TI4 is what gave you as an answer, and I was like, once you get to playing that, it's not difficult, you know.
Yeah, I've
Um,
always kind of been on that fence that TI is actually not as complex as
right.
people make it out to be. Um, I know, I mean, it's kind of interesting with this one. They have Phil Pettifer as the designer, but then on the cover it says Vlada Chvátil. And
The
it's
game
like,
Mage Knight's from Vlaada Chvátil. He's the main designer, so I think it
I
was just
know, but
probably
it's
a
like it's like, hey, remember Vlada? It's like,
yeah,
we do.
yeah.
Where is he? Come back.
I think he just kind of was done with the game, and then they wanted
He
to
made
do more.
amazing games and he's like, all right, time to
Yeah,
retire.
because when was the last one he put out? Good Lord,
I
it's
know,
been,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's I really for some reason this is just one of those games that didn't that never clicked for me. I don't have really any issue with it whatsoever. In fact, I probably would like it with the story-driven campaign. Um, depending on how it comes together, because we've definitely played some stinkers when it comes to some campaign modes. Like uh but yeah, I mean this one the gameplay is very, very solid.
yeah,
But I'm also not a pure solo gamer if I'm not
right,
doing it for the channel.
yeah. So I'm over the moon excited for what this story-driven campaign is. It may
Yeah.
suck, but I have great hope in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's any consolation, now you asked me about Voidfall. If I'm not mistaken, I know Paul Grogan has said Voidfall might overtake Mage Knight.
Oh, interesting.
So,
I've been tempted
um,
because in March 17th they're coming out with more stuff for Voidfall, and
yeah.
that's what reminded me. And I was like, I
Yeah.
wonder if Seth's played
And
it.
again, I don't know if I ever answered your original question. It was more of like I thought Voidfall was a very good game. I just would never play it again.
Right,
It's like, okay, well, I'd never want to, because I mean, you could have it and you'd probably play it and it might make your top 100. And then I imagine it would just fall off the next year
right. Yeah.
because it's just one of those games. But I mean, I could be wrong.
Yep. All right,
All
but that's my
right.
number nine.
Cool. Good pick. My number nine also rose somehow because I have not played this game in a very long time. I've been waiting for the opportunity. I just keep playing camp. Oh yeah. Also for my top 10, get ready. I mean, we've had the string of Euros for Brad's entire top 100. Get ready for my story-driven campaign
What
gauntlet.
what was the your
It's
acronym for that?
CG, narrative-driven campaign
Yeah.
game. That's the G. Yep. My NDCG gauntlet here. So my number nine was 12 last year. Um, so I mean, it rose 3 spots, and it was 8 the year before. Um, and that is Tainted
Mm,
Grail.
interesting.
Um,
I was getting ready to say Medora.
no, I think I already talked about
Okay,
Madara.
I couldn't remember if you
Um,
did or not.
yeah, Madara was definitely, it is definitely in the top 100, and that will probably rise whenever Act 2 and 3 finally get delivered.
Yeah.
Um, but the interesting thing about Tainted Grail is, like I said, I haven't touched it in quite some time. Um, Originally I was doing a solo campaign for it, but I kind of want to play this with at least one other person. People do say it's best at one at two. That I could definitely see. Um, for all intents and purposes, this game does literally everything right for me. Like I'm such a huge FromSoft fan with Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Sekiro. They're just phenomenal. And not that this game in gameplay plays that way, but in theme, it definitely does. the encroaching darkness enveloping the land that you have to light bonfires, or in this case, they're called menhirs, to push the weirdness back. That's how you see the land. I know a lot of people's gripes with this one is the grindy
Yeah.
nature of it.
Yep.
Play Isofarian Guard, and then you'll look at Tainted Grail in a different light.
Yeah, maybe I
I
need to try
never
it again.
You probably should. I mean, here's the thing though. There's a couple things. One, that's why another person kind of helps because it's another person gathering resources to light the menhirs, and you get to
Right.
see more of the map that way. Um, so that's one thing. I also never found the grind to be that bad because you they stay lit for a significant portion, and you find them pretty frequently. So by the time you're moving around, it doesn't really matter if the one from, the 2 men years ago goes out. Um, but I can see when this game came out 7 years ago at this point, that kind of concept of grind wasn't as prevalent in board
Hmm.
gaming. Don't get me wrong, like I've never been a grindy person, and I never found it that bad. But here's the other thing. Just don't fucking do it. Just keep them lit. It's not like it's a video game where your only means of progression is by actually following what's coded. You
Right.
control the game. Just be like, I don't want to fucking light it. So I'll just keep it lit. Great. Then you move on and you get to do whatever you want. You own the game. Do whatever you fucking want to have fun. Um, with all that being said, this game when it came out kind of set the bar for writing in board games. Um, and Awakened Realms has still been one of the best in like board game writing. This game drips in theme, has the really cool element of like secret cards that as you're going from location to location and making choices and different decisions and marking on a track of uh of like what you've done that will carry over throughout the entire campaign, and then you just get different options available to you. It's so cool. And then this game also does something really neat where you're actually deck constructing 2 different decks, both a combat deck and a diplomacy deck, um, depending on who you're interacting with. That's also really cool. The characters are unique. What they can put in their deck is different. This has just gripped me since the beginning. I think the only time it fell out of the top 10 might have just been last year when it was number 12, and it fell because I hadn't touched it.
Hmm.
But I guess the matchups for this one might have just been at the forefront because it's definitely made my top 10 campaign games. I was just reminded of what a great game this was. And this is core game, and they have pumped like so many expansions. It even says re-implemented by Kings of Ruin, which this made Mike Kelly's top 10, the Kings of Ruin element, and he hates Awakened Realms as a
Right.
company, from what I can gather. Because apparently in this one they did remove like the grind, which I haven't played Kings of Ruin, so it might I have it. So maybe it'll be one of those things I'll play Kings of Ruin and go back to OG, and it's just like, ugh, like
Right.
Jesus, fucking sucks. I don't know, but yeah, in theme, gameplay, story, it just hits it every single time. Um, so I'm fucking stoked. I really want to start this as a series on the channel, but I've unfortunately been playing shittier campaign games. So, but we're done. Like there was Kingdoms Forlorn that didn't quite land, although that one could end up being great depending on how the Wave 2 stuff comes out. And then Dante Inferno made me want to fucking give my gun a blowjob.
Oh God.
So, so that's my number 9, Tainted Grail. Not
All
Kings
right.
of Ruin, unfortunately, the Fall of
Uh,
Avalon.
all right. On that note, my number 8 is a game you have. I Yeah, you talked about this earlier. I can't remember how far ago. This one's one of the ones that stayed the same as last year, so it stayed
Okay.
right at number 8. And it was number 7 the year before that, the year it came out, or the year I got it anyway. And that is Oathsworn.
Shit.
So
That is also not on here. I didn't think it was still going to be in your top 10 because I thought you hadn't played it.
No, no, I played it. I'm through six or seven of
You
the
got
deals now.
17 more. No, wait. You got, what is it? 15 more to go.
Yep, that's fine. That's perfect because I replay some of them because I'm either playing it, showing it to somebody else.
Mm,
Like you always start with the stupid rat one. I think I played the rat one 5 times now, or because
yeah.
we played the rat one when you were showing it to me. Um, but yeah, this one is, I guess, my narrative campaign driven game. My NC
NDCG. It
in
rolls right off the
NDCG.
tongue.
No, it doesn't. I think this might be my only NDCG on this deal too. But but anyway, yeah, this one. I mean, going from the two different phases of the game, going from the town phase where you're doing all those stuff, making your choices, having the narration by the Game of Thrones dude, all this different
I
stuff
know.
going on. And
How they
then
got him. It's
I
so
know,
fucking cool.
yeah. And then moving on to where you actually go up against the boss. And the first time you play it, you are given clues a little bit here and there, but then it's like when you go and fight them, you open up that box and then you get to see what this is.
Yeah.
Um, Now you can because you can play through this again, obviously, but you're gonna already kind of that, so you lose that surprise, but it's
Mm,
still fun. I mean, because the battles are all unique. The When you're battling the boss and you're dropping, you're attacking certain parts of him, because certain parts will attack certain, and you're trying to damage certain parts to maybe make that part unusable by them or whatever.
yeah.
The other really cool thing when you were showing this to me back in the day, I thought was one of the neatest things. I mean, the battle flow system is really cool, with the
Yeah.
cards having like a cooldown and stuff. But the the coolest part was like when you did your um uh not interactions, I guess like your attacks or whatever.
Yeah.
You are you have dice and decks of cards, and you are you can use either one or both,
Yeah.
because you can kind of think about what cards you went through to know kind of probably what's in the decks, and then
Hmm.
you can chance it to roll dice to try to get stuff. You can roll, you know, fistfuls if you want. I mean, it's just all kinds of craziness with this.
Yeah.
This is the most common picture because nobody wants spoiler pictures out there. So you got your
Right.
big ass rat. Um, but yeah, I mean, this one is outstanding. Um, I have all obviously you have all the terrain and stuff. The first time I play through a deal, I use all the terrain just because for the ambiance
Oh,
of it. But
yeah.
if I play it again, like I don't use it, just because
Yeah. By the time
once
we
the
were done with the campaign, I was like, these things just get in the way now.
yeah,
So I just started and it just cleaned up the game a
yeah.
lot. But
And
yeah, I agree. Like everything you said, this game is absolutely phenomenal. This is a great example of how you do two different phases.
mhm,
Um, because the story is excellent. You're engrossed, and yeah, like obviously the best, it's like to their benefit and their detriment is that mystery box
mhm,
thing where it's like it's your first playthrough is going to be so exciting, and then subsequent playthroughs might be less because you already know where you're going up against.
right.
Um, but ideally, I mean, these games take so long that by the time you went to by the time I get around to replaying this campaign, I'll probably forget
Mhm,
like which ones. I know Devin, he's actually going through this campaign again, and he's kind of at the point where he's like, okay, I think I'm done after a second campaign playthrough. And I can
right.
see that.
Oh yeah.
But I know I got confirmation that they're gonna make more, but
Mm,
nothing, no whispers, no nothing
yeah.
on
It'll
it.
be cool when they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think the other thing I wanted to mention was because you're always going to be playing with four characters, so it's
Mm,
like I play this solo, and then I two-hand it hero wise, and then I have the other two be kind of like the whatever they
Oh,
call
okay.
them,
The companion.
the companions. Yeah, so I'm controlling two characters just to have that agency of that, and then I have the
Yeah.
two companions of stuff. But it's got that drop in, drop out mode,
Mm.
So if you're playing through the campaign, somebody wants to hop in, you make them a character, and and stuff like that. So that's another really cool aspect of it.
Yeah. One
But yeah,
really unique thing that no one ever talks about with this one is the fact that your character build is forced to change
hmm
every
yeah,
chapter because your weapons break.
hmm
So like if you take damage, if you go down or you get wounded, like not only do you have wound cards, but more of your equipment breaks. So then you
right,
have to go out and buy new ones. And so I thought that was kind of a fascinating element to throw in.
yeah. Yep.
So
So that is my number 8. We'll see where it goes next. It was 8 the year before, so we'll see what happens next year.
nice. All right. My number eight. This is one of the ones that fell, but I mean, if it fell within
You're
the top
right.
10, that means it was in the top 10 anyway. It was number three last year and four the year before, so it fell 5 spots. Um, this one I'm combining with another game that you and I are actually playing right now, and this one might jump up whenever we finally get to it, and that is Frosthaven.
Gotcha.
So I'm combining Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion,
The system.
not yeah, not buttons and bugs. That's not that's not included in this. Uh I do think Frosthaven is the better game out of the, when you're comparing Gloomhaven to Frosthaven just because it adds more. Uh we're even seeing it as our series of Gloomhaven second edition that it's kind of interesting with, I don't know how you're feeling about second edition, but it does seem to kind of have an indirect improvement. Like I just feel like things are balanced. We get more XP.
Yeah,
Um, it feels like we hit harder. Uh, more like it doesn't feel like, oh, we're in scenario one and we're already getting our like cheek spread like
right.
the entire time. Hell, you already retired a character.
Yeah, I gotta pick a
Uh,
new character next time
and
we
you still
play.
got to pick a new character. You're playing the bard. I don't care.
No, I'm
You're
not playing
playing
the
the
bard.
girl little fairy bard. It reeks of Brad
No.
is the bard character. Um, but just call him Eddie and pretend it's, from
It's
your favorite band.
Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder. I was gonna say that's not what I was gonna say as his last name, but um yeah, so Frosthaven, the amount of it that I have played, because I did start a campaign with a buddy of mine years ago. It is a drastic improvement. I love the settlement phase at the end where you get to actually build out Frosthaven. The loot system is actually gathering resources that you might need for, I mean, hell, for even items. Like you get to craft items, you get to put it towards your outpost. Um, then you have the element of each scenario actually having a unique goal versus just kill all enemies, kill all revealed
Right.
enemies. In Gloomhaven, even second edition, they didn't really change that at all.
No,
It's
the
still
majority
kill
of
all
them.
enemies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
majority of them are.
it's every now and then it's like, oh hey, we actually don't have to kill all enemies. We have to either escape. What are the ones we've had to do? Escape and get hailed to the outpost, or not the outpost, to the altar.
Yeah, I think so.
And then, of course, any boss fight, you have to defeat the boss. But yeah, for the most part, it is kill all enemies or kill all revealed enemies. Um, but you got to be super creative in this game. Every character feels radically unique. There's a lot of depth to the characters as you're leveling up, which is really cool. I just love the card system between the with the characters and trying to synchronize between everyone. And then of course the companion apps that have been fan made drastically help this game. Like makes it way less fiddly. So I've had people ask me, like, in fact, some guy I had come for ADT, he was asking if he should hop into Frosthaven if he's never played any of them. And I was like, go to Target. if it's still there, have no idea. No one goes to Target anymore because they're fucking dog shit. Um, but if you do, get Jaws of the Lion because it plays just like Gloomhaven with an excellent tutorial system, and right then and there you'll know if you're gonna like the game or not.
Yep.
So yeah, didn't realize Frosthaven was 4 years old at this point.
Jeez.
That's insane. And I know Gloomhaven Second Edition just came out, so that's technically what they've been working on, and then they have their RPG. But I will be very curious to know if Isaac is gonna continue the Haven series, if he's gonna move to a different region or
Desert
something.
Haven.
Yeah,
Jungle Haven.
Swamp Haven.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if he has it in him. Um, but only time will tell. Even if he doesn't, there's so much content. Hell, I thought going through second edition of Gloomhaven was going to be kind of a slog, but I've been having a blast.
Yeah, it's been a lot funner than the first one, I think, like what we've
Yeah,
done so far.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I know someone in our comments, I think our first discussion of the second edition did point out the differences
Oh,
between
okay.
first and second because I was like, I think it's the same. It's not. It just has a better improved feel.
Yeah.
So that's my number 8, Frosthaven, the Haven system.
Yep. I look forward to playing yours. Okay. Because I sold mine.
Yeah, I know, just like my Odalin. Calling it. I'm still calling it. Next year you will not have it, especially if it sucks. If it sucks, neither of us will have it.
Well, right. If it sucks, sucks bad. If we give it
But
like a below a 5, then yeah, we both will be selling it.
right,
Um, okay.
dude, what if it's Dark Quarter bad?
God help us.
I'll be like, all right, I can. I feel very confident it will not be Dark Quarter bad
No,
because I
no.
I've played a little bit of Tenare's Adventures, um, and it's the same company and it has some of the same systems from what I can
Yeah.
gather.
Yeah.
So it's definitely gonna be at least a 5.
Okay. All right. So my number 7 was my number 9 last year. This one was on my list a lot early when we were doing these lists. Then it kind of fell off because I got rid of all of my stuff. And then I got back into it a few years ago, and it's been setting at um actually, yeah, last year was my first year of it being back because I bought all the revised stuff. So
Ha
it came back at number 9, and then I it's at 7 now. That's Lord of the Rings, the card game, the
Boom!
revised edition.
I have that on your list. I had at number 9.
Oh, okay.
So
Um, yeah, specifically
there
the
it is.
revised edition of stuff because the original stuff, like I had boxes and boxes and boxes of everything from the original stuff. I went back and when I first bought the core game, and then I just bought everything for the original. And the original was all entirely hey, that looks like my playmat that I have for mine.
It's a
Um,
cool one.
but the original was strictly scenario based. So what made that one tricky was um we would play a scenario in the original, and then you jump into the next scenario within their little storyline, and you would have to totally rebuild your deck because you couldn't keep the same stuff because like you do one thing and then the next deck you would need a bunch of eagles in your deck for some reason, and because it was a bird, and so you had to just totally deconstruct your deck and build, so you had to do that between scenarios, which was annoying.
Yeah.
So what they've done with this revised edition is they've actually added a campaign mode. So it makes it more fluid between the scenarios of a story. So you don't have to, I mean, you can tweak, but it's not like you can't win with what you are carrying
It's as
into it.
much
It makes it more like Arkham.
yeah,
Like,
I was
yeah,
gonna say it's as much tweaking as Arkham does.
right. Because this is the granddaddy of the Fantasy Flight LCGs. Like this
Hmm.
was the first one. And Arkham kind of built off of this. And then Marvel Champions indirectly kind of built off of this, but then Arkham, I think, really caught fire, and then they came out with this revised and almost kind of made it. They took some of the stuff from Arkham and kind of put it back with this to get this more fresh, you know. But like, so the revised stuff, they don't they don't have every. I mean, it's all cross compatible. You can play with your old stuff with this. It's just I just went in. I bought a revised core set. I bought I have the Saga expansion, so playing through the three books of the Lord of the Rings, and
Hmm.
then they came out with several of um the cycles and the big box is what they started doing, like the Dreamscapes and Dream Chasers and all that stuff. It was they put it all in one big box, kind of like what Arkham does now, but it was just one box that has all the heroes and the campaign in it. And the game plays the same mechanically. It's just it adds that stuff like they smoothed out the scenarios,
Yeah.
so and that right there was the biggest win for me because as much as I like deck construction, I don't want to do it in between scenarios, because it takes a
Yeah, you don't
while to
want to
build
do
a
it every
deck.
every
Right,
hour. It's like,
right.
oh
So,
God.
so it's like that was the main thing. And so I loved what they did with this and made it um more fluid and stuff. And there's so much for this game. I didn't go back and buy any of the original old stuff just because they actually even came out with the character like the faction decks that were precons. Um, they came out
Oh yeah,
the
like the
same time.
Riders of
Yeah,
how about
yeah,
these?
yeah. The same time that the revised core set came out, those came out. So
El
if you
Señor de los Anhelos.
so if you don't want to deck build or deck construct at all, you could just jump in and use one of these precons, kind of like what they were doing
Sure.
with their other ones.
Whoops.
But this one is top notch. I love it. Um, I this is excellent solo game. Two players fine too. I mean, I play it two character. I play um double-handed anyway with this. So either way is fine.
It is always funny that that ends up being the case. Any game that comes out where it's like, hey, we have a solo mode, and it's always like play two characters. It's like you don't have a solo mode then. You're just
Well,
playing it as two players.
you can play that. I mean, this is strictly you could play just like Marvel Champions and stuff. You can play
I
this
know.
strictly solo, but it just makes it tougher. Like,
Yeah.
I guess if you're wanting a challenge, because if you have the two players, at least when the monsters come out into that action row, you don't take the brunt of everything. You can kind of divide and conquer a little bit
Yeah.
and use the abilities on the cards because they have that block, the sentry ability, or not sentry,
Yeah.
sentinel that lets you kind of take the hit for somebody else. So it's like you want to have a second person a lot of times just to be able to
Yeah, and I
do
mean,
stuff.
you always got to think about team comp, like in this one or Marvel Champions, where it's like, hey, I'm a support character. It's like,
Right.
yeah, those don't do well by themselves.
Yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, this one's probably always going to be around here just because I'm a huge fan of these card games. We've
Hmm.
already talked about Marvel Champions. We already talked about this one. I haven't talked about Arkham yet. So, we'll get to
Oh
that.
my God, I didn't think of
Oh
Arkham.
my God. I
I
figured that was
suck. Well, I thought that I think I did think about Arkham, but I thought it was because like me, you
Oh yeah.
haven't touched. I mean, you haven't touched it. Well, actually, I
Oh
guess you
no.
have.
I
You have
have
played a little bit
lately.
more.
Yeah, this
Um,
last year, man, I played quite a bit because I've been printing shit for it, which has been getting it to the
yeah.
table and
I'm gonna be
uh
completely honest. The list I wrote down for you, I just had to think of every chip theory game, and I was like,
um
okay, that's like six of them.
um
But
well, I've already talked about a bunch of them.
I didn't put those on.
So,
But yeah, like this one, it's an interesting thing because out of the three, uh, this theme does more for me than any of them.
mhm.
Um, with Lord of the Rings, but whenever it came down to because as you can see, I previously owned it. I jumped in on everything, and as I was organizing it, I had an epiphany of like, I can't do
Three LCGs.
three of
Yeah.
these. Um, I will never ever get this played. Um, so I I don't even know who I ended up selling it, and but yeah, and then we had played your copy just to get a review
Yeah,
out there, and I was like,
we did some of the fellowship, didn't we? Because
right.
that one just to try to mess with it.
Yeah, and I'm like, look, this game is great, but Marvel Champions and Arkham Horror do what this game does, if not better. Uh, so it's like if I ever want to play it, I'll just play your copy.
Yeah. And I think
That
that I
would be
think
a
that's
fun.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
I was I was gonna say that might be a fun mini campaign whenever we aren't playing two massive ones, is to go
Hmm.
through the saga stuff.
Yeah, yeah, they're good. I like the Mar that's I think that's why Marvel Champions is my lowest of the three, is because they do have the campaign boxes,
Hmm.
but it's almost more of a one-shot game.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that.
And that's fine. I like it. It's on my in my top 10, but I like, and I think that's why this pushed up so much, is because it added that campaign feel. And I think that's why I like Arkham more, because it's it's all campaign stuff. I mean, it's,
Yeah. It's
so
kind of interesting we're going through the Marvel stuff again because you kind of see the the gradual improvements on
hmm
what they did. Like hell, I'm only in the third box with Mad Titan Shadow, and they've done something different in each of the three box sets. But yeah, they're still basically like, hey, five scenarios of Marvel Champions, play it five times. Very little campaign progression between the
right.
decks. So yeah, like I can see why this is in here.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to own it.
that's fine. We don't both have to own it.
That's we
Even though
definitely
we
don't.
even though we both own all of Marvel and all of
I
Arkham.
know. I know. We're in too deep at that point.
Yeah, it's true.
Nice. Yeah, good choice. All right. My number seven rose 19 spots. It was 26 last year. This is a game that will never be on your radar at all. Um, but I absolutely love it, as we can tell, because it shot up into my top 10. So technically new to the top 10, not new to the list. And that is Dawn of Madness.
I wouldn't mind
So,
trying it sometime, like, because it sounds
well,
intriguing, but I just
I
don't.
have good news.
What's that?
They have released some of the audio versions for the books, which drastically improves the experience. Not that the writing or anything was bad, but it is a lot of reading.
Right.
So, like, imagine the amount of reading I had to do for Aeon's End Legacy.
Hmm.
Um, that looks like a pamphlet compared to the amount of reading that is in this game. So having audio narration do it, oh my God, it's just so much better. Um, now this to me is like the best example of a pure horror type game. If you're a fan of Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Evil Within, um, Dead Space, those kinds of games, you could feel the inspiration from from those to this. The concept of it is you play as like a wanderer, I think is what they're called. It's like the main character,
Right.
and you're going through their storybook, and all the other players are kind of like you're going in their mind, into their psyche, and experiencing the horrors of that at various locations, with abominations and monsters coming at you at all these various locations. All the other characters are kind of like synced up to that, so they're like pulled into it with them, but they're not. You're not doing anything story related with them. And the goal is it's kind of broken up into two phases. The big three-fourths of the game is all the story stuff where you're trying to gather enough story points to get one of the four endings. Now, the game will naturally draw you to one of the three, and the fourth ending is like a more secret one that you have to try and figure out how to get. But you need to kill the abomination, which is like a particular family. And with the Wave 2 stuff that'll be coming, they add even more families to that. And they gotta have a little legacy element to that, which is kind of cool, where
Hmm.
if you succeed or fail, the that family will like have like a buff to them in future games. Not that this is a campaign game at all, but it has that little X tweak, which I think is neat. I think more games should try and do that. But but yeah, like if you are into this game, has so much atmosphere and theme just dripping off of it, that that alone would be enough. But then the gameplay for it is actually really good and innovative, like in a genre of this style where it's like they could have easily just done the generic tile-based movement and rolling dice and stuff, you'd still do roll dice, but the uh the system over here with your character and the five different elements with the different colored, in this case, cubes that all have a little effect for them, little abilities. Yeah, it's a lot. It's not super intuitive by any means, but it is innovative, keeps you involved the entire time. And a lot of your actions, this one is the one you've seen in other games where it's like you're on this time track, and the more actions you do, it kind of goes top to bottom. So this character is going to go, if they do an action that costs them 4, then they'll drop down to 3. And then all these other stuff, which is these are the other characters and the other enemies, they'll do stuff until everyone kind of hits 0 or can't do anything. But these are all the different types of characters, or not characters, enemies that have weaknesses that you're trying to damage to be able to either prevent them from doing actions or kill them altogether. It's really a one-of-a-kind game. I did a video comparing this one to I was gonna say Dead Space to Deep Madness, which
Yeah.
is the same company and same world. Um, and someone commented on that video and they're like, Dawn of Madness to me is better because it's nothing like, I don't have anything like it in my collection. And I'm like, that's fair. Like Deep Madness has a lot of things going for it too, but it is a dungeon crawler. It feels like other dungeon crawlers. I can't think of a game that feels like this. Um,
Yeah.
and for the amount of writing in here, it could have gone one of two ways. It could have been very campy and like cringe, which sometimes it borders on that a little bit. But for the most part, it's excellent, excellent writing. I think the author of this, I'd have to check. Um, the writer, one of these guys, I feel like wrote a book. I think Shattered. Oh God, what is it called? I have the book in my collection, but I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Anyway, he ended up writing a book for it, and it's actually pretty good. And I have read, like, you go to Gen Con and you go to like the artist section and you go to the where they sell books.
Hmm.
Oh boy, you get some like, ugh, God, fuck. All right, don't quit your day job kind of stuff. Um, there's a quote that I like from American Dad where it's like they go to like a book convention and Francine goes up to one of his famous authors and he's like, I love your work. The way you write dialogue reminds people it's really hard to write dialogue. And that's just a quote that I'd say all the time in these campaign games because sometimes it's just bad. We've literally we just talked about a shitty game, Dark Quarter, that has horrendous writing. This is not that. Like I said, audio narration. Oh man, like I need to get this to the table where this is my girlfriend's favorite game that
Really.
we have played. So gameplay is excellent, story is excellent, and the sheer amount of content for one wanderer. And there are all of these expansions coming
Jeez.
coming soon, I think. I want to say they're actually on ships. So I should be getting the rest of my stuff. And these are all wanderers, all stories. Oops, all horror. In fact, you can actually see like the paintings or the pictures I have up here and centered around my walls are actually art from this game. So absolutely love it. That is my number 7.
Good choice, I think. It's always intrigued me, this one, like the sounds of it and stuff. I just
I
have
could see
never.
this game be a one that you would like. Although I'm not, are you even, do you like horror?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
love it.
All right.
Yeah. Yep, I
Um,
do.
then I could see this game definitely being one that you would like. Um, maybe even really like, but I can't see you ever going out and buying it.
Oh no, I don't think I'll ever buy it, but I'll gladly play yours
Yeah,
sometime if we ever get it set up.
sure.
All right. My number 6. This one jumped for a surprising reason. This was 13 last year. I know it's going to be on your list, because it's been on my list for ages. It's been as high as number 2 back in 2019, and it's kind of bounced around. Um, This is Shadows of Brimstone.
My
Um,
God, I'm so dumb. No, it's not. I did not even think of Shadows of Brimstone.
and this one probably would have stayed in the teens, but I actually shockingly played a mini campaign of this
Oh shit.
this last year. Not my copy, but a friend of mine that lives down in Oklahoma. I went down to his place and because my brother lives down there now, and he just in talking and stuff, he actually had Shadows Burner. He doesn't have as much as I have, but he has, you know, all the core sets and some of the little stuff. And we played like a little 4 game campaign because you can play like little campaigns. You can kind of choose how
Mm.
long you want your campaign to be. Um, so yeah, I got to play it at that point, and I more or less had to relearn it myself and teach him because he didn't know what the hell was going on. It seemed like it was almost like a Bert situation. But anyway,
Gotcha.
so yeah, this one is uh we say lifestyle game. I think we each have like 6 lifestyle games at this point
I know.
each. But this one I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on to get, and they've come out with all these new things at their last convention that I haven't picked up yet. It's like Greek mythology, Greek or Roman mythological stuff
Oh, cool.
and stuff. So I don't have those yet. Now I have to pick them up at some point.
You're
But anyway,
slacking.
I know. But this one is, I mean, everything. Like, so they came out with 2 Western core sets to start with. Then they went to Japan. Then they are coming out with the Hell Train and Egypt. Um, So, and then the interesting part of this is it would be fun anyway, just knowing that, Hell's coming out in the Old West in these caverns and stuff,
Hmm.
or the mines, I guess. But what they've did with this game from the very beginning that has made this ultimate replayable, or was they added the portals, and then those portals, if you have other world sets, which they have several of those out now, you could you just kind of randomly draw a card and you go to that place. And it could be an ice planet. You could go on a derelict spaceship with zombie astronauts. You could go to I always play the feudal Japan core set as another world, just because I like the
I mean,
Western
at this
theme.
point, when they all be, do you have to start in like one of the core sets, or can you?
You start in a core set. So whether
Okay.
whether whether you're doing the swamps, the ancients, the Japan or Egypt, those will be your ones that you'll
Okay.
start in. Um, but uh, but yeah, so well, and I guess if you have those adventure sets, you can start with those too because they had the Viking and the Vikings adventure set and the Spanish Inquisition people or Spanish
Gotcha.
explorers or whatever. But yeah, so you start in those things and then you just branch. So if you want to stick with Western, anything that comes out of that, you can use those as an other world, to kind of bounce to. Um, but yeah, so the stories I think is the biggest thing with this game because this is the closest thing to like a role-playing game I have, because it's you don't have like you have to print out your sheets that you track all your information on and stuff. You create your character at the beginning, you name them and all that stuff. We've had so many crazy stuff. Like one of my favorite characters still, well, my original campaign I played, I had a guy, I went a little I guess racist with it. I had
God, Brad, Jesus
well,
Christ.
I had a Mexican bandito. He was a guy, and he had like a bottle of whiskey in one hand and a stick of dynamite in the other, and his name was Paco El Taco. And so we played
I
with
don't.
that.
I wouldn't really call that.
I
I mean,
know
I guess
it's
nowadays people would
r-
call that racist, but
right, right.
um, like you could have gone way worse
Oh
with
no, no, I
it.
I wasn't gonna go crazy with it, but anyway, so
You just
that
start spouting off a bunch of slurs. That's like, and that's whenever I quit talking to
yeah,
Brad.
yeah. So anyway, there was that guy, but we played one of the Spanish explorers set, when I was doing another campaign with some people, and I was a Jaguar warrior, so like this tribal deal, and
Hmm.
this person he ended up getting bit by a vampire, and then I had vampiric powers, and I would suck I would suck
Semen.
no, the spirit
Oh,
from the what's the term? There's health and there's sanity.
stamina.
I would It was
Oh,
sanity.
sanity.
So
Okay.
they would lose a stamina a sanity every time at the beginning of every turn because if I was close to them, but my health boosted like almost double health, and I was just flying around just taking care of all kinds of stuff. But there's all kinds of
Nice.
these enemy boxes that come out that do that. There's werewolves, there's skeleton Civil War characters, like there's all this crazy stuff, and the possibilities are endless. Um, and then also between like when you're going from your mission and going to a town, there's all these town events you can do and everything, but you have to do your travel events. And when you have the core boxes, they have a sheet for that. But somebody went through and created, and I have a binder of like 150 double-sided pages of all these travel events that you can roll off
I
of
know.
now and everything. And
This all
it's
sounds
just
super cool. I'll
it
never experience
well,
it.
when I get my game table and basement finished, then we will. Um,
Never experience it. That's never happening.
but I get my game
Is this?
table next month. So, but anyway, so Shadows Brimstone, I mean, it's an experience game. Like it's a roll and move, right? So it's got the dated stuff like that, but the stories that we still tell, like when I first played this, God, probably I don't know how many years ago, uh, with the Chads and everything. That was my first experience with it. It was like, um, it's just it's it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's my favorite. Like the stories is what overtakes the roll and move aspect of it. And we've house ruled some stuff. They leave all this open for you, you know, um, just to kind of play with it how you will and stuff like that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I have
I
boxes
was
and
try
boxes and boxes of tiles and
I was trying
miniatures
to
everywhere.
find I
Yeah.
was trying to find the comment, but someone um finally clarified the two types of storytelling. And this is what Shadows of Brimstone is: emergent storytelling, where stories are not pre-scripted but arise organically from player actions, choices, and interactions with game systems.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean,
versus other games like Tainted Grail that we were just talking about, that
right.
is, I think it's, is it emergent and im, is it I, E and I?
I
Nope.
can't.
I don't know what the opposite
Yeah.
is.
I
Um,
just I just know that what's cool about this is like you can play an endless campaign with these characters because the monsters level up with they kind of do like Gloomhaven and all that stuff. Like the monsters get harder, the more you level up, but it's like
there's not a
you
max level.
well, I mean, it takes forever to level up.
Oh,
So I
okay.
mean, it's not like you're gonna fly, but like you could play a 4 game campaign if you want. The original campaign we played with Paco and Lefty and Ronda Rousey and all those characters that we were using was we played probably 15 games, and you can just stop whenever you want because you get to choose
Sure.
what mission you want to go to next. Like you don't have to follow a straight path. The
Yeah.
adventures one you kind of do. The Kickstarter before this last one was the Vikings and stuff, and that was like it was called Shadow of Brimstone Adventures, and that was more of a linear like you
Okay.
followed a little bit of a story, but it branched off a little bit from there. But yeah,
So, man, I should have before I donated my kidney to you, I should have been like, before I do this, we need to do Shadows of Brimstone needs to be on my channel. But I didn't. I thought I would do something good for my friend out of the goodness of my heart, and he
well,
would reciprocate that by playing Shadows of Brimstone with
well,
me.
well, the problem is I know you were annoyed with folklore because you had to stop and set everything up and all that stuff, and that's going to
That is
happen with
true.
this game. It's
I know
like,
that's the every time
you
you talk
know,
about it, I'm like, there is a small part of me that's like, maybe that wouldn't be great
right? You almost just
for
need to
the
play it just for
channel.
the fun of it, like,
Yeah,
you know.
because but there is so much content that it's like, I wonder if I could, because the portals you can just go in at any time, right? It's just
Well,
like, oh, okay,
there's
let's.
you have like when you pull a room card, like when you're going through the caverns or the mines, and you go to the next space, you flip over a cavern card, and it'll tell you how to set it up. So
Okay.
it'll be maybe there'll be a portal that'll pop up eventually, and with what openings and stuff, and how many tokens you need to put in it and all that crap. So
Yeah.
I mean, it eventually pops up, but it's not like you don't know where they're at like right at the beginning
Well, I know, but I
or
meant
anything.
like you're not each scenario that you're in, like I can't because I've only ever played the core game
Hmm.
and it's been over 10 years since I've played it. The Is there an objective that you have to do, or is it just like we're doing this in this picture, we're fighting this, but oh, okay, let's just leave and hop in a portal, or
You
is it like
pick when you pick your scenario that you're going to play, there's an objective. Yes.
okay, so then
Um,
once you go into the objective, then you can go into portal? I'm trying to basically gauge how annoying it would be to try and record, or if it's just like every 5 seconds, it's like, oh, okay, let's reset, let's just pull all this, and now we're in the spaceship.
it just depends on what scenario you pick and what the objective is. Some of them you need to plug up a lava event or whatever like that. But if you want to jump in, and because when you go to those other worlds, the reason you want to do that, not just for the fun of it to see what's out there, is you get cool artifacts and stuff from those worlds that you get to bring back, and they're really powerful. Like if you go to the derelict ship, they have a laser sword, which is a
Yeah.
lightsaber that's badass to use in the old West, you know. So I mean, that's there is a certain deal, or depending on which scenario you pick, it may be like you need to find and kill this epic monster, you know,
Okay.
and that epic monster you may have to go into a portal to find it. You know, it just depends. There's so many damn missions with this that
Right.
it
And
just
for the character building, is
hmm
it like can let's say the laser sword as an example.
right.
Can anyone just use that, or do you have stat requirements
It's
that it's
more or
like
less you have weight requirements, and you have your of course, just like most RPGs, you have two hands, you know,
okay,
at
okay.
head and all that crap.
Gotcha.
But some people, the only thing you need to watch out for is melee and range. If they
Okay.
suck at melee, you don't want to give them the sword. Like,
Right. Okay.
you
That's
know,
that's
so
kind of I was trying to figure out like how restrictive the character building is. Like, is it starving like Dante or Primal, or is it like more Gloomhaven or Madara, you know?
yeah, I mean, it's pretty much you can use whatever you want. It's just you need to be
Okay.
smart about what you use. Like I bought a pistol because my character in my original campaign, I grew a Quato, that guy from Total Recall. Like I had another human coming out of my torso
Yeah.
with arms and stuff, so I bought him a little gun. So then I got an extra attack because he could shoot too, and you know, just stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Because there's mutations, you know, and all that stuff, which most mutations are bad, but some of them give you rock skin, which makes you slower, but then you, you
I'm coming. Guys,
it's
like
harder for them to hurt you though too, you know. So it's
sure.
like there's just so much with this, and you know, this Kickstarter, this campaign that when you back a campaign from them, you're going to be waiting 3 years plus to get it, 3 to 4 years to
Hmm.
get it. But when you get it, and that's the other caveat, you have to be willing to put minis together. Like if you're not a
Yeah.
minis assembler, then you're not gonna don't do this unless you have somebody to put them together because they
Yeah.
are not uh
I just
pre-assembled.
I just know I think this is one of those games that if we did do it for the channel, it would be one I would put in the effort to actually edit, all the
Right.
time it takes to set up and stuff. And I know Devin has shown insane amounts of interest with this one. Every time we bring up a campaign game, he's like, "What's that one that Brad really likes?" I'm like, "Shadows." He's like, "I really want to try that one." I'm like, "Yeah, me too, man. Me too." Um, because his favorite game is Kingdom Death Monster, and it has the
Right.
same type of shit.
Right.
So with that emergent storytelling, which sometimes is better because I mean that's what is going to stick around. So I don't know. Well, I guess I am technically the one managing your board games in the inevitable, or
Yeah.
not inevitable, that's the wrong
When,
word, in your demise.
when I die,
Um,
you can.
in the on the unfortunate incident that might arise soon, I'll just be like, well, guys, I'm taking all the shadow stuff.
That
Do it.
sounds kind
I don't
of
care
that
what
sounds
happens
kind of
with the rest.
sketchy. I may not want to come over there. You gonna kill me or something?
I don't know. Are we gonna play the Shadows of Brimstone?
I'm bringing it to my grave. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
big
that's the
ass
one
grave.
thing. Like the pharaohs, you have to be buried with your shadow stuff.
Yeah.
It is a lifestyle game, so maybe
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
very much.
afterlife.
This is my biggest lifestyle game of everything, like because
Yeah.
it's just so much. But yeah,
I know you don't want to carry it over, but man, I don't know what I need to do to try to convince you to play this game.
we'll get it. We will get it. I
Hmm.
need to print some stuff. I need to print like now that I have my printer, there's all kinds of cool stuff I need to print that would help sort things because it's a it's just so everywhere, like so many cards, and you got to get them sorted, and it's a mess. I need to go through and look at what they have on online for printing to try to get it more focused, you know, and stuff.
Probably
But
nothing, I
no,
imagine.
there's a lot of brimstone. I mean, not to make it not storage wise, but I mean like easy getting it to the table, like
Oh, sure.
for the card stacking and stuff like that, just to get the decks
Yeah.
all organized. Because there's probably 80, well not 80, there's probably 50 decks of cards that you've got to manage,
Yeah.
like
No,
and
it's
stuff. So
definitely a lot. They
yeah,
have done nothing to try and streamline it,
nope.
um, or balance it. I imagine it's not balanced at all either.
It's not bad, you know,
Oh, okay.
like I haven't ran into any issues like that. I think that's why it takes so goddamn long for them to put it out. I think
Maybe.
they actually put some work into it because this is their only game they really do anymore.
Oh,
So
yeah. I mean, that's I think more companies should like stick within your wheelhouse. Like
yeah,
Madara, Succubus Publishing, I hope that they just stick with Madara stuff. I think
hmm
sometimes when you try and do other stuff, it's like I mean, again, Kingdom Death Monster. They never tried to do anything else. It's just that. And it's like,
yep,
cool, because you get to improve on the game.
yep, exactly.
Um,
So we will
well,
get it played, I promise, at some point.
yes. You legally binding verbal contract right here.
I didn't say when. I said it sometime
That's true. I'll get it played
before I
again.
die.
Oh, all right. Well, my number, what was this? Number six?
Yep.
Okay. I think this might be the highest rise. Let me see. I had in the entire top 100, I had a rise of 100. I had a rise of 116. I had a rise of 116, 108. Okay, so no, 116 was the highest rise. This is the second highest rise, but it jumped. Last year it was 114, and now it's number six. And I told you guys this in the discussion for this game that when I play this game, it is a top 10 game. When I don't play it, it falls off.
Have I played this?
You have played it.
Okay,
I have a
I know what it
sexy
is, I think.
trophy for this game
Yep,
too,
yep, yep, yep.
and that is Twilight Imperium,
Yeah.
fourth edition. Counting the expansions because that was the main reason why we ended up getting played. Uh, I organized a game day for this. We had a six-player game. I have a discussion on this one with the Prophecy of Kings and the Thunder's Edge expansion. Um, so brought in an old friend, Zach, that was my buddy when I lived up near KC, and everyone else. We had a new guy also on the channel for that, but then everyone else that was on it has been seen before. I mean, as a like a 4X game, area control epic experience, there's almost nothing like this. It is it is the one game. Okay, nice picture. Um it is the one game that I went out and I virtually forced everyone to learn this game on their own
Yep.
because I mean I even made a fucking Discord server to get everyone to communicate if they needed to share links to two different how to play videos. One where it's like a learn the game in 30 minutes, and then another one that was a deeper dive. That guy, I was it Cardboard Alchemy or Cardboard?
No,
Was
it
it,
was
what
I'll
was
look it
it?
up while you're
Yeah.
talking so you can.
Anyway, he was invaluable. His how to play, where he talked about it was a seamless how to play video with both expansions, was excellent. Because I kept stressing to everyone, look, this game is going to take a while, and I don't want to spend the first hour or two teaching people how to play the game.
It
Um,
was Cardboard Crash Course.
Crash Course.
And
Okay.
that dude knows his TI, man. His videos are top notch. He
They
has
are.
like he even did a ranking of factions just here recently.
Oh, really?
Like
Oh,
he's put
shit.
every faction ranking
Damn.
deal. Yeah.
I might have to just watch that. Yeah, he was excellent. If you're learning this game, like if you're seeing this picture and you're like, that looks like too much. I mean, it is. It is a lot of stuff, but I promise you that this game is digestible. It is so streamlined. The two expansions for it are phenomenal. Um, but there are resources out there to help it. That the cardboard crash course, his how to play video is you'll feel like you've been playing it for years after watching it. Then he has videos on your faction, which at first I wasn't gonna do. Like I wasn't gonna watch the one on mine because I kind of like to go in and figure out my faction. But I was like, damn it, there's a trophy on the line. So,
Yes.
which Brad printed out,
Yep.
and actually I gotta show it. I
It's
gotta
a
show
big
what I'm.
it's a big trophy.
It is.
Mechatol Rex.
Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, it is in my glass case because I didn't think I was actually gonna win with this. Boom, there it is, right there. Because the guy, my friend Zach, he plays this game like weekly. It
It's
feels
his
like.
lifestyle game.
Yeah, it's when he plays online. He'll travel for it, and I just eked out a win because I think if I wasn't gonna win, he was about to.
Yeah, I think
And I
so.
actually only won because everyone reminded me that like the trade goods are like the universal currency, so you could spend. And I was like, oh shit, I could actually spend this to get the goods or to get the 2 points I need. So that was awesome. But yeah, the game went over extremely well. There's so many epic moments of, you know, alliances and betrayal, and every faction has their pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses that they can use in forming alliances or trying to betray people. Or I mean, my faction was one of the new ones. Funny enough, because I randomly chose three. I put them all in a randomizer wheel, and I'm like, okay, this is who you got. Not out of three options. I gave everyone three options. And you and Kyle were the only two people that did not pick a new faction from the new expansion.
Yeah.
You both were core game.
I played the
Um,
humans.
yeah, you went the Federation of Soul.
Hmm.
Um, but what was fascinating is like as I was watching the Cardboard Crash Course, his video on my faction, I was like, huh, okay, this they seem pretty cool. I like the fact that no one can come to my home world. But I ended up being a nuisance the entire time by having my wormhole things like shutting down people's abilities, and I'm just like, oh, sorry. Oh, you had a fight over there? I'm gonna put a wormhole there. It there's just so many great things about this game. And like I said, it's hopefully it ends up being like a once or twice a year thing that we can get going because um yeah, it just stays up in the top 10 whenever it does get played.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, snuck back into the top 10. I can't even remember the last time it was in the top 10. It would have been um did I have it? What was it? It was, yeah, 114 last year, 73 the year before. 2022 didn't have it. 21, 21 didn't have it. Um, wow, it's actually been maybe has it been in my top 10 ever? Maybe not. Maybe it has not ever been in my top 10. I thought it had, but
Yeah, I
guess
couldn't
not.
remember. All right.
So there we go. Number five. Number six. Number five?
Number
Number
six.
six.
I'm getting ready to do
Got
number
it.
five. Okay, my number five is a game that I don't, I think I'm probably the only person on this planet that champions this game. Unless the creator probably does too. But so this is a game I championed this game. It was a 7 last year, 5 this year. Um, I thought they were done with this game, but they came out with a small expansion Kickstarter a month or two ago. Um, and this is super, super fun solo game for me, and that is Set a Watch.
Oh God, yeah, I did not even think of this one.
Yeah, this one I was like last year was number 7. It was 19 the year before, and then because it was up like in the hundreds before, but yeah, this one jumped in to at number 7 last year, and it went up to 5 this year. Um, Having the stuff that they've put in with the all the sets that they have now, and then the Doomed Run, um, like the campaign thing. Uh, this game's a big puzzle, right? Like so you are there's always going to be the 4 characters. Um, and the box opens up and it has the board in it. And one you all roll your dice, and everybody has their own dice that they're going to be using of different types depending on what their abilities are and stuff like that. But then after you everybody rolls the dice, then you can kind of look and see how effective somebody's going to be. But then somebody has to stay behind at the fire to man like in the yeah to kind of guide the fire. I can't remember what they call that phase. I just kind of do it. But so when the box opens up, it's your play area, like your stuff. But there's that you get to go to the you stay behind at the city, and you get that person gets to use their dice to do stuff at the campfire. You know, to heal, or they can scout, they can check the map deck, they can chop firewood for stuff. There's just stuff that they do. You can only do that though, like each person can only have 2 stops at the campsite. So you have to one person has to stay behind, so you're going to be running 3 heroes out to deal with all the line of creatures that pops up. um I want to say it's like 9 locations that you're going to be working through, but then there's a line of bad guys that'll pop out. And it's a puzzle because certain things you need to kill in certain order, because some things are stronger if they're first in line, or if they're end of the line, or if they're next to something else. So it's like this whole puzzle that you're trying to work through, by spinning dice to kill them, battle them. You have special abilities. Um, and after you play through a whole round and succeed, there's another location. Then you all roll your dice again. You see who, and then somebody else has to stay at the campsite. So and that's what I'm saying, because like you kind of hose yourself, because once somebody's been there twice, they can't go back again. So if they roll like crap, then they're done, you know?
Hmm.
I've played this at full player count several times. Um, but I just have any puzzle game like this, for some reason I like just doing it myself, because I like to talk it out. I like to have the 4 characters right in front of me, and I can kind of you know talk through it and everything. um and I have complete control, of course. uh so um but yeah, I
And
mean
that's why
they
you
have.
lose all the time.
No, actually, I'm pretty solid at these games. But there's tons of characters out now, because each box that comes out um has, because there's, let me see here. There was let's see here. Is that a war trade? It'd help if I spelled it freaking right. There's Swords of a Coin, Forsaken Isles, um, and the new one is Winterlands. It's coming, but it's just a small one. Um, but then the Doomed Run is like a big box campaign mode type of thing. So there's and the Outrider's just a small box. It makes their bad guys stronger. Um, but they all those boxes fit into the Doom Run box, and then it can be played straight through like a campaign kind of thing. But there's, like I said, there's a bunch of heroes. They all play totally different. Yep, that's the inside of the box. Um, and yeah, I mean it's one of those games that just totally caught me off guard. I got it because it looked cool, like a co-op game, could be played solo, and I just really dig it. And like I said, I'm probably the only person that has it, in their top 10, except for if you're Mike Ganaud or whatever the guy's name is that created it.
He probably doesn't
But
even have it in his top 10. He's like,
but
it's all right.
yeah. So I don't know. I just get that it's just a good puzzle feel to it. Um, and I just adore it. They
Nice.
and like I said, I thought they were done. They came out the Hinterlands that's coming out is a small thing and it'll still fit in the Doom Run box. So it's not like they are doing like some games do and keep putting stuff
Yeah,
out
like
after
another
they're
like another big box, and
right,
it's like great,
right.
which
So
I
I
could
think
totally
I
see
think they're pretty
someone
much
doing.
done. Like after this
Sure.
Hinterlands, if not just doing little expansions here and there because there is cart room for cards, unless you sleeve your cards and then that thing fills up pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Set a Watch, it's one of those unsung uh solo games that I play that just is badass.
Nice. All right.
I'm assuming that wasn't on your list either.
It was not. No, I only thought of good games that could have been in your top 10. I should have known better. No, there are so far I only got two correct, but
That you're gonna nail these next
I
four.
feel
If
like
you
I
if you
feel like
forgot
I
any of
might
these
yeah.
next four, then you just suck. I mean,
Yeah. I still can't believe I didn't think of Shadows of Brimstone. That one I'm kicking myself. All
yeah.
right, my number 5. Here we go. Is new to the list. It is. Oh my God. New to the list. So, shot right up, and that's Grim Coven.
Oh, it's not your number two. So I thought that was your number two.
No, I kept
Well, you
telling you.
said
I'm
well
like,
you said you said your newest game came in at number two.
yeah,
Is a new one.
my newest, my highest newest game is number
Right, and
2.
that's why because you love Grim Coven so much. That's
I
why
do love Grim Coven.
I thought maybe that was your two.
Yeah, this is my Bloodborne theme game that isn't actually the Bloodborne game that isn't actually all that good when you
Right.
play it more than the like the core the few big boxes. Yeah, this is one that I have. I mean, it's just it's so good. It's so good. It is um one of the best boss battlers out there, especially as a one shot style game. They do pretty much everything right for this one. The atmosphere and the theme just right up my alley with that dark Victorian Gothic style. Um, they have a good chunk of bosses, like not like a ton. There's not like a million bosses you could fight in the game, but what's really cool about this one is there are different scenarios for the bosses
Mm-hmm.
that will increase in difficulty for this game. So they even have like a sheet of paper that you will mark like which one you've beaten and it's like at what level. And you're like, okay, well, we did the Graveyard Dragon. So we did that one. Boom, we'll mark that. Now we'll fight them at scenario 2. You can definitely tell it's an Awakened Realms game because of some of the elements that they have for the locations. Like the tiles have different terrains, which will have a randomized terrain effect that you can use that'll help you for the fight. There are spots on the map. Definitely because this and Stalker came out around the same time and both have that same effect of like, oh, if you go to this spot, you can do an event here and that'll read like a secret, you'll pull a secret deck or a secret card from the secret deck, and I just really like that element. Um, but one of the coolest aspects of this game, oh, perfect, are the characters. The characters are so radically different from one another, um, in terms of just their innate ability, but also this game has that awesome kind of like Death May Die, Cthulhu Death May Die system, where as you are gaining corruption, you are unlocking abilities, and that is either more dice, which dice are your actions, or it is more cards, which you can put dice on. And every character has their own evolution deck that you will draw from, and they have ways for you to be able to cycle through them if you're looking for a particular card. But every single time I've played this, every time you draw from that evolution deck, you're like, damn, I want all of these, but you can only pick one. And you only get those cards whenever you hit the unlock symbol. So you're not even getting that many abilities, and you're not picking ability cards every single time because you need dice. So you're probably getting like 4 cards, maybe if you're splitting it evenly.
Mhm.
Um, this game has such a high amount of cooperation between players because they have this really cool assist ability where if I put like a double side, a double arrow ability, and I put that in my assist, and I can give that assist token to another player, and that acts as a double arrow, which they might need for one of their card effects. They have reroll tokens and stuff. So I thought the dice system was going to be the crux of this game where I was going to kind of end up hating it. I actually really like it because it's that type of randomness where it's like you roll them and you're like, okay, cool. Now I can see what I can do and try and make it work versus the opposite of like, I want to do this. Nope, guess I can't. Um, so not only are the characters just radically different and feel like no other characters in other games. Um, the bosses themselves are also drastically different from one another. Um, one thing that I was also talking about the corruption track in the Death May Die system is as you level up, you'll draw from a corruption deck that will basically hurt you the higher your corruption is, or you'll end up hurting your teammates. Um, So yeah, I forgot I was going to talk about the double-edged sword nature of that. But yeah, the bosses, they do a really cool element of keeping it organized up on this track here, where all the heroes get to go or all the fighters get to go. Then you go through this 5-step enemy phase where it's like event phase, then the minions will go, then elites will go, then the boss will go, and then the boss will kind of level up. And each scenario boss card will have a different way that it actually levels up. So it's streamlined, it feels like. The only thing that's kind of weird about this game is its defense. Like you either have 2 or 4 defense. Um, so that's just kind of fucking weird. It almost feels like that they didn't want to mess with, having different levels of defense, kind of like in Stalker, how they didn't want to mess with line of sight. They were just like, okay, you can see up, left, down, or right. And here it's like you either have 2 or 4 defense. That's it.
Gotcha.
So I will also say that this game has some of the worst acrylic tokens. Um, like the upgrade pack, I think is actually the worse than the cardboard that comes in the box. I actually don't even like these dice, like because you can barely see what the fuck they are. So their upgrade stuff was actually really bad for
I've
this.
seen
Not
some
got
3D printable upgrades that people have used for that
oh
stuff.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Um, So yeah, like the boss fights are awesome. This kind of has a Oathsworn feel where the boss's cards, you could see exactly what it's gonna do. But they have like this system on some cards where if you can do half of the damage it requires to kill the card, it won't do a certain effect. So there might be a time where you're like, okay, we can't kill this card. We can't do enough damage, but can we do enough to where it's not going to do this really bonkers ability? And yeah, I mean, it does everything right for me. I absolutely love this one. I kind of really want to get it onto the table and do like a series where I just fight every single
Hmm.
boss in the game. Um, yeah, here we go. If I can zoom in. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Uh, what was it called? Oh, focus. That's right. Because it's like you have to do a certain amount of damage down here per player, and it's like, yeah, for here it's like you have to do 8 damage, um, to kill it. And if you can't do 8 damage, if you could at least do 4, it won't do these the focused attacks. I think that's really unique. It's super cool. Um, and yeah, like I could talk about it more, and this one I feel like is one of those games that when it came out, like a lot of people on that comment on my channel also loved it.
Yeah.
So shot straight into the top 10 at number 5 because I got virtually no complaints. I actually my only major complaint is I think this game is easier with more people.
Okay.
Like I think two is a really good number. Four, I think the players get too like kind of too powerful. Um, but and it's also long at four, so I probably would just rather keep this at two. But that's for a lot of boss battlers, honestly. I like them at two.
So I have a question because I'm actually playing this for the first time this weekend. I'm planning
Nice.
on getting it to the table. So I'm playing it solo, obviously. Would you recommend, I mean, would it work pure solo or two-handed?
Um, Funny enough, people say best at two. 11
Okay.
people say best at two. I think you would be solid two-handing it.
Okay, good. That's what I was
Um,
figuring, but
it because it's going to be. I mean, people say they recommend it, recommended that one. But it's going to be that same situation we were just talking about, where the characters have shortcomings,
yeah.
or they can. So you might just get steamrolled if
Hmm.
you're playing like a pure melee character and you're fighting a dragon who could do a shit ton of AoE. Because I will say, if there was one thing that you might not like about this game, it's probably the defense. I don't hate it. I just think it's weird.
Right.
Like it's like why? Because like for example, you can never have more than four defense. So if you have two defense and you gain another two defense, you now have a four defense. But if
Right.
you take one damage, your four goes away. So
See.
it's yeah, it feels like they really didn't want to have that fiddliness, which I appreciate on one level, but then it is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
But
Well, I
I'm
look
excited to
forward to
hear what you think about it because
yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Yep. I'm playing it Saturday, I think. So
Nice.
all right.
Nice.
So my number four, you already know. Because you guessed it in like the first video, I think.
Like, yeah, I did. I don't remember what segment I was, but yeah, made the comment. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I know you. You're so predictable. Burncycle's gonna be. It might have been when I mentioned it.
Maybe, but you hit it like right on the number. Like
I know, and I'll never live up to that again.
all right.
Um,
Yeah.
when did I talk about Burncycle?
Shit.
You can, well,
Yeah.
you can talk about it while
So
I.
so so anyway, Burncycle, chip theory games. I'm a chip theory boy. And so this was one that came out after a couple of their other games, and it was a totally new IP. So it was kind of a risk for them because, Too Many Bones was kind of their thing with Hoplomachus and stuff like that. They came out with this new IP. And I mean, I loved it. It hit for me. I don't know, like overall, like in the gaming community, that I think it almost kind of went under the radar a little bit with a lot of people,
Mhm.
because like everybody knows Too Many Bones. I don't think everybody knows Burn Cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know
so
the people I've shown this to, I've shown it to Devin. He wasn't super thrilled with it, but then I showed it to my buddy Keith, and they liked it.
yeah,
So I feel like, yeah, for some reason, this one just doesn't hit the same way as Elder Scrolls or Too Many Bones
right,
would.
right. So with this one's kind of an interesting one because this brings stealth into it. Like you can fight the guards, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't if you could at all avoid it because you aren't super strong. I mean, I know there's a couple of the bots that you control that have a little bit of a harder hitting nature, but
Hmm.
I you want to be stealthy. So you want to sneak around. You want to, open and close doors. You want to hack the terminals to see what you can do with that. Just kind of this game amplified even more when they came out with the brass mags,
Oh
because
yeah.
then it was just like, well, the brass mags were obvious, but then the second set of brass mags that let you have, because the core box came with the original guards. Um, and
As brass mags? I don't think
I
so.
think didn't they? I thought they did. The original box, I
I
think,
think
came with just the guards. I want to say not the specialized guards, but just the
maybe it
generic
did.
guards. Yeah, I think
It's
it
been a
did
bit. Okay.
because they were all generic, and that was the only ones because your characters were using chips and
Yeah.
shit like that. But then they came out with that expansion deal they gave you the specialized guard cards and the whatever the generals or whatever they call the main guys. But
What are they
um
called?
yeah, I can't think of it right now. But anyway, so this game is all about sneaking. One, you have your objectives that you're trying to meet. There's a whole stack of objectives per company that you're trying to, get into. So there's all these different things you can do this, but the building layout will always be the same, obviously, because it's the same building, but you're going to be going up different sets of floors with different setups, all to do like one of them. I think who was it that you and I didn't play? I don't think. I think it was when I was showing it to Fletcher. Like there was almost like a Teddy Ruxpin, um, mission where you had to go get the talking robot toy was the mission or something like that. It was on the top
Oh,
floor, and
yeah. Well, I don't. I mean, there are so many. I don't remember which
yeah,
one we
yeah, yeah.
did.
But you can like make noise by bursting a hole in a wall if you want to, but then it alerts the guards and they kind of start coming down on you. Um, but the cool thing with this is the burn cycle track because that shows the actions that you can also maximize your turns on if you use one of the same chips. It gives you kind
Yeah.
of the term is escaping me, but whatever the powerful version of that action is. Um, but at the very beginning of the game, you get these upgrades, like you put these pins in, and you can kind of do different upgrade stuff. You have your own, uh, you'll have your robot that you pick, but then every game you're going to have a module that's going to run on that board there with the burn cycle track, and that so every robot has a module side too. You flip it over, and that's different stuff that they can do. Um, So there's some that may open doors for you and do different odds and ends. There's also the ping track, the network. That's another almost like a mini game kind of thing because when you go onto the network, you're trying to move these little pings around. You're gaining different things as you do, but you're trying not to get caught by the main bad guy's pings as he's trying to eliminate you.
Yep.
So it's just one of those games, like it was a fresh take on stuff because
Hmm.
they had done the Too Many Bones, they'd done the Hoplomachus, and then they popped out with this and this futuristic robotic kind of stuff. They supported it through a series of little expansions and stuff like that. I don't know what the future is for this game at this point. They haven't said it's done. That one dude, I can never remember his name, that kind of does the unboxings and reboxings, kind of the oddball looking guy. Sorry, but
The
but
freak. It's
no, I
like
can't think of
okay.
his name. It's not the guy with the glasses, but it's the other guy that did
I
like the
don't know. I
reboxing.
know. I know Andrew because I talk with him about review copies, but I don't know
Yeah,
anyone else. I don't even know
but
what he
but
looks like.
but he had mentioned they were doing one of their lives, and they mentioned something about how Burncycle might not be over. Like so it just depends on how it sells and how it keeps going and stuff. So we'll see if any more comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's I really enjoy it because I like sneaking around
Hmm.
games like that, and this one really fits that bill because that's more or less what you're doing. I mean, that's the name of the game is you're sneaking to try to complete your objective.
Yeah, and chip theory, like this game is a perfect example. But chip theory has this really awesome balance of disguising their games because they're puzzles. They're all puzzles. Even every combat is a puzzle. Doesn't quite ever feel like it's a true like Ameritrash game. It always they do a great job of disguising their puzzles as like thematic games, you know?
Right.
Because like if we're taking a look at like this picture, like here, it's like we were just talking about, it's more of the fact of like each of these bots has like an ability on them, or your uh the general or whatever they're called, admiral or the big specialized boss has abilities on them, and they always just feel like a passive effect that you have to now figure out how to navigate. Similar to how their combat does in Too Many Bones, where it's like, hey, you have all these enemies. Well, they're not going to swarm you and chuck a bunch of dice, and you have to manage your hit points. I mean, you do have to do that, but it's like how am I going to navigate? In which order do I want to take these out? Um, and it just it works in a different way.
Yeah.
So
The
if
AI is
you're
pretty neat with stuff. That was, you know,
oh yeah, the way that they like move
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, and like how it feels very like Assassin's Creed almost, where like if you move into their range and you run through a door, then you have a little tracker that's kind of
Right.
like the outline of your character of like, hey, I think I must have been the wind, and they walk away.
Yep.
Um, yeah, this one I need to get to the table more, which is why it isn't as high on my list. I saw Burncycle was in my 40s, and I know I didn't guess it that late. It was like 90, the first or
Yeah,
second
it
segment.
was like the first or second segment, yeah. And their CEOs are what the main guys are that you take on, I believe. It says
No, the CEOs are these guys.
each
Are
CEO has a
yeah, these guys. Like they have this track, but the big general dude that's like a bot running around, I don't think that's the
yeah.
CEO.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say anything.
But I will say this is also a great example of how you do a game that has the same layout in a fun
Right.
way.
Yep.
Because our industry, like this genre, um has a problem with constant like newness. Like I mean, you and I are guilty of it as well. Literally, a game can come out and we'll play it for like the first or second time and be like, I wonder what they're doing next. As if I was a designer, I'd probably just fucking cut my wrists if I ever heard that. It's like, what do you mean? Like Vantage, great example. Oh, I wonder if he's gonna make expansions. He's like, fuckers, that took 8 years. Play
hmm
play the rest of the game. And we're just like, more, more, more. Um, and so we always want something tangible. I mean, that's the video game industry. That's fucking anything. If you love something, you want more of it. And this game is a great example of like, oh, it's the same layout. Like you and I had that exact, oh, really? But then you play this same corporation, you play one scenario, you play another scenario. You can play with the exact same robots, and you're gonna do a different strategy
Yep.
because the scenario is different.
Yep. Exactly.
So, so yeah, great game. All right, so my number four, sticking with the sexy little chip theory, is one that you mentioned a while back, and that is Elder Scrolls. So this one is obviously new to my list, and I know we talked about it quite a bit back whenever you had mentioned it, and I personally just think that they took what was already great about Too Many Bones and then just amplified it into to me a better experience. Um, not that it like replaces Too Many Bones, which is actually kind of a feat in and of itself, but I just think that with the improvements to the combat system, where you actually can move around a map, especially when you go into like the dungeons and the delving where the map
hmm
sprawls out, you actually have some strategy there. It makes the puzzle feel a little like it still has the puzzle element, but then you actually it just feels more tactile. But then the biggest thing that I love about this game is the sheer creativity with the
Right.
character creation, where you pick your race and then your class and then your skills, where you could literally just do whatever you feel like doing. If you want to be an Imperial Knight that delves into archery and healing magic, you're more than welcome to. Your only restriction is the slots in your actual character board, so you can't like do everything. But if you don't want to deal with, you know, if you don't want to deal with magic at all, then you eventually just put a thing in here and then you build out all the way to cover it up to the left as you're leveling up your character. I think this kind of tug of war element between your stats is incredibly unique. And I think the way they did their stamina system was also unique with the light and heavy fatigue that
Right.
you can deal with and how you get your dice back. Um, on top of all of that, they have tons of different like items, different types of items that you can get, common and rare goods. And then it really blows the door wide open for your character build, which to me in a campaign game is crucial. Because if you're going to stick around for any extended period of time, you don't want to be stuck with the same thing over and over and over. Um, I think a lot of campaign games end up being really limited for some reason. And I mean, I know the reason. The reason is it takes effort and to design character builds. So they're just like, oh, they can only hold one weapon and one potion. It's like, okay, so you're immediately worse than a lot of the campaign games. But yeah, Chip Theory did not hold back on this one. They're pumping out surprisingly, I'm actually kind of surprised at the amount of content that they're already going to be releasing for this. I mean, we thought new locations, of course, that they
Right.
didn't have, but they already hinted at when you got this stuff. But really, what's more surprising to me is the heroes of Tamriel and Fur and Fang, that kind of Shadows of Oblivion, that kind of stuff of, new classes, new races, just to expand even more on the character build. So that's what really drives this game all the way up. Um, Brad, do you remember where I had too many bones?
Oh, 30,
Oh my
30s,
God.
30s maybe?
No, funny enough, where did you have Elder Scrolls?
19.
19? Okay, I misjudged real quick, but I had too many bones at 20.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it was 19, real quick. I'm like, that is so funny. But I mean, Too Many Bones is still a top 20 game. It's phenomenal. I
Right.
just, for my play style as a NDCG lover, um, God, why does that sound? It just, there's got to be a better genre. I don't want to keep saying campaign games, because not all campaign games are narrative driven. Um, so yeah, like this one just does a lot for me. And I don't know. I don't know if there'll ever be a world where these games would flip for any of us, for either of us. Like I don't know if Elder Scrolls would ever beat out Too Many Bones for you and vice versa for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about splitting hairs, though. I mean, they're both great. They're both in our top 20 and stuff. It's just for
Yeah.
for just the because we did the weigh in on the video, and I leaned more Too Many Bones, obviously, and you would lean
Yeah.
more this. It was just the length, I think, was the biggest thing.
Hmm.
I think that was the biggest deal. I mean, that was I think the biggest sway in the deal for me.
Sure. Even though, yeah, because I think I don't know if we mentioned that there is like they have a really good save system
Hmm.
for this, especially if you get the sexy little character packs, which again, I feel like more games should do. I think that's a cool like, hey, here's my character. Let me slide in cards into these sleeves here. Uh, but probably each campaign is like 3 sessions, and I think one session equates to probably a good many Too Many Bones games.
Right, right,
But then again, you always have the overhead of like whenever you do save it, you can't really play another game of Elder Scrolls. You have to finish your campaign. Um, whereas Too Many Bones, you're done.
right.
So yeah, fantastic game. Absolutely love it. My number 4.
Okay. My number three fell from number two.
So it's ass, is what I'm
No,
hearing.
no. Uh, do you want to try to guess what it is since you've trying to
Um, uh, have you talked about Victorium yet?
oh yeah.
You did? Fuck.
Yep.
Then I'll say Too Many Bones.
Victorum was no, I 21.
Oh, boo. All right,
Uh
well, Victorium was on the
no,
list I had written out for you.
it is Cthulhu Death May Die. That is my
Oh
three.
shit. Okay. That is on the list.
Right.
Um, I thought that was your number one,
Oh, okay.
but
Cthulhu Death May Die just fell to one spot. I mean, it's this game has been surprisingly, this game has never been my number one. It's been
oh,
two, it was two, 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 four, two, and now
okay.
three. So, um, this one is you. I don't want to spoil it. Have you? I mean, did we talk about
I
this
have talked about
earlier?
this one. Yeah,
Okay,
it
okay,
was my
okay,
number 16.
okay. So this one is, I did not do the Kickstarter for this game initially because the cover looked kind of odd with like the whole like it had like that heavy metal looking like the way Cthulhu was written and all that stuff. And I was just like, this is kind of
It
like,
has that almost what is the game called? Abyss. It has that
yeah,
like
yeah.
Abyss vibe,
So I was
which
like,
I think this is one of the ugliest fucking covers
yeah, yeah.
ever.
So I
But
was
yeah.
like, I didn't do the Kickstarter. I was like, oh, who in the hell wants a huge ass Cthulhu and all this stuff, And I was just like,
What
and then,
idiots would buy
yeah.
that?
And then I was on a conference. I was at a training conference in St. Louis, and we went to Miniature Market, and they had the core boxes for 1 and 2, and I was like, I'll go ahead and buy them and give them a shot. And then I played my first game in my hotel, and it was awesome at that point. I was just like, so then I went and because
Do
they
you
did
have
the,
that moment when you're like playing a game like this and you're just like, oh no?
I should have backed this. Yeah.
Like, or just like, fuck, you feel like your wallet, you're just
Yeah.
like, oh fuck.
Yeah. So then when the next campaign came out, I ended up getting all the stuff, and
hmm
everything. And it just, so I'm caught up with everything now. But yeah, I mean, this one,
Hold on,
when
hold
you,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
yeah,
on. There's a Wonka character that has to be fan made.
who?
Willy Wonka. He's right in the bottom
Um,
left.
I'm not
There's
sure.
no,
That's
it
such
doesn't.
a thick pack of characters. I don't know, but it could be. There's a lot of fan mades, but none of the other ones look fan made.
Right. Like,
Well,
but then again, that's
actually,
the only one that has a different colored background.
that is true. So yeah, it probably is.
Okay.
But but anyway, yeah, I'd have to look through the whole huge stack because there's so many characters to play with this. There's loosely based on characters, and there actually is some real characters.
hmm
Because I think they have like William Forrester or something, or whoever. There was
I
like
mean, they
an
have Rasputin right here.
Rasputin, and they had who's that one author that Hemingway is in there and stuff
Oh,
like that. But
Ernest Hemingway. Yeah.
yeah,
And all the character designs, not all of them, but a lot of them look like actors.
right. Yeah. So anyway, this game makes it this high for me because of its just the replayability. There's so many episodes out right now with all the stuff that's come out, and uh, with those episodes, you can play them each with a different old one, and there's a bunch of old ones out now. So then it's just you just mash those together and you just get a different game every single time. And it's like I found one that I'm still convinced can't be beat. Um
Yep. Right here, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, you're good.
this, oh, well, there he is. 100% Bill Nye, the guy
Gray.
who plays in the Underworld movies, and he also did the voice for uh Davy Jones in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um so the play that like I said that I've ran across one that I just don't think is winnable of this because I played it tons of times with somebody, and it's the Dagon God from the stretch goal box of the first campaign with I can't remember what I'd have to look at the episode, but there's an episode, and there's just no way we get beat by like turn 3. Like
Damn.
it's nuts. Like I don't know how you would ever beat it, but I'll have to figure
If
out
you
the
can,
episode and try it. Yeah.
if you can, I don't think I have a run through for this on my channel. In fact, I don't even know when the last discussion for this came out. If you can think of the combination, that would be a fun
Yeah,
like video
I
to
need to
do.
go back and look at them because yeah, yeah, I'll find it, but it was just one that was just nuts. But this game, uses the track with the insanity track that we talked about it with you. Like the more more insane you go, the more powerful you get, but it's a balance because once you go fully insane, you lose. Um, and you're trying to every episode is like you're trying to disrupt the ritual to get the old one to come out because the old one could come out before the ritual's done, but you just can't hurt him until the ritual is
Yeah,
done, and then you can start hurting him. So it's if I had one tiny complaint about this game, it would be the tile size.
it's awful.
Um,
Yeah,
but
it's
I
so
mean,
bad.
I can understand why they went that way though, just because the box is already huge and stacked full. If you had full huge tiles, it would just be that much bigger.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And
it's
Simon's already horrendous with their storage.
right. So well,
So
thanks to Tinkering Paws for the storage deals for these because it turns all
yeah.
those. I mean,
If
you
you're
still,
looking
yeah, yeah. Go
if you're
ahead.
looking for STL files or 3D prints for massive Kickstarters, Tinkering Paws is one to, now you're gonna pay for it if you don't pay for the files. So
Right,
I would just recommend paying for the files and finding someone who has a 3D
right.
printer.
Yeah, because it's like what, $40 for the files, but you save. I
Yeah, their
mean,
files
you know,
are pretty pricey too.
but I
But
mean,
better than 200.
right. But
Which,
so it still is meaty though because each season because it's broken into seasons. Each season
yeah.
still goes into two boxes.
Oh,
Um,
I know. Yeah, it's
so it's
insane. But I
still
mean,
nuts.
they find ways with it's a lot harder for storage whenever you have fucking minis,
Yeah.
and which is a duh, but it's like for them to find a way to 3D print it to where it's somewhat organizable
Mhm.
is I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely there are times whenever it's like, is it easier to keep them separate with all the boxes so you could just pull? It's like, oh, I
Right,
want to do this expansion versus trying to figure out where it's all at in an
right.
organized. Uh,
Did did we play the Cthulhu mission?
no,
Okay, we
no,
play. Okay, so we played the Galactus from Zombie. Okay, I knew we
yes,
played with one of them, but yeah, we need to play the Cthulhu
I know,
mission sometime.
I know.
But of course, when we get the Godzilla, apparently you're supposed to be able to fight the Cthulhu and the Godzilla monster minis against each other, the huge ones.
Oh, that's
So
pretty.
so
Like, how does that work? Are we Bill Nye just like, oh my
you're just
God?
gonna pick them up and start slamming them against each other until
Oh,
one.
like the real mini.
Yeah.
Whichever one
But
breaks first is the
right.
loser.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll
I
use yours.
no, we will not. That'll be the one time we get to use your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one isn't in the, I mean, because it was in the top 10 for me last year, I think. What did I say? Yeah, it was number 5 last year, but I
Hmm.
just have not gotten it to the table.
Yeah. And this was kind of my first, besides Elder Sign, the old dice system game from Fantasy
Hmm.
Flight. Like I think that's another reason I didn't do Death May Die because when that Kickstarter came out, I don't know when was it. It came out in 2019, so the Kickstarter was probably in 2017. Like
Yeah,
I
probably.
really wasn't into Cthulhu a ton at that point.
Sure.
Like everything was coming out Cthulhu,
Yeah, because it was like public domain. We could
Right,
do
right.
whatever.
And so I really hadn't hit that as much, and I think that's another reason why I kind of stayed away from
Hmm.
it. But then this game, I fully attribute to me getting into that genre more,
Yeah.
because they've made a whole world. I mean, I know this is the Lovecraft world, but around this game IP in particular, the Death May Die series, they've actually created their own universe because
Yeah.
that the the one you just got crap Dark Providence is in the Death May
Oh,
Die
yeah.
universe. There's that other game that hasn't come out yet, like the Death on the Orient Express or whatever.
Oh,
That's in
Horror
the
on the
that
Orient
Yeah,
Express.
that's in the Death May Die universe. They were
Is
talking
it
to
really?
yeah.
Oh, I did not know
So
that.
they've made all these games now in the Death May Die universe. It's a branch off now. So it's like
I mean, what
I
is
know
a
it's the
Death May Die
same.
unit? It's like, okay, it's Lovecraft without the characters from
I know.
Lovecraft.
I know. I think
And
it's more
maybe
of
a
maybe an art
smidge less
style.
racism.
Right. Yeah.
Just a little bit though.
Right. So
Yeah,
anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see what when we get Godzilla in this fourth season. And
we'll
all that.
see. Yeah, because it's Asmodee
Yeah,
now.
and they're pushing right
Assuming,
along.
well, I mean, they're pushing it, but the interesting thing is like, is Rob Davio and Eric Lang still tied to it with Asmodee? That's the question. Is like, it's kind of the same thing with Six Siege and Steamforge. It's like, okay, yeah, you have the IP, but did you fuck it up by taking the IP?
Yeah, I
I don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah, I don't know
I don't know
either.
how it works. Obviously, Eric Lang isn't even with Simon, so it's not like that was ever a thing. And I guess Rob Davio wasn't with Simon either.
Yeah, he's just
So
contracted with them.
they could have easily just been like, "Hey, now it's Asmodee," and they're still contracting them out to design
Yeah.
more content.
And
But
apparently,
hey, look at that, another lifestyle game.
yeah, apparently they're Asmodee's saying that they've got a bunch more in the pipe too. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, it
Um,
definitely makes money.
yep. So anyway, that's my number three, Cthulhu Death
Cool.
May Die.
Cool, cool, cool. My number three also fell from number two. So fell one spot, and in 2023 it was number one as well. And that is Sleeping Gods.
Ah, yeah.
So Sleeping Gods, Distant Skies, or the original Distant Skies, I think is the better one. If you're out there looking and you see both of them and you're like, which one should I get? I think Distant Skies is the cleaner of the two, but I do like the story of the original Sleeping Gods more. So, uh, the easiest one is just to get both of them. This is kind of this is like Ryan Lockett's almost magnum opus game
Hmm.
because it started with Above and Below, then Near and Far, then Now or Never, and each one of those kind of increased in storytelling. Obviously, Above and Below was the quick snippet. Near and Far started to kind of connect. You would get a keyword that might pop up later in a different game. And then Near and Far, each character had their own storybook. And then Sleeping Gods comes out, and it's like this massive sandbox narrative game that uh very, very few campaign games succeed at that sandbox style. The closest one that came out probably would be Vantage, but
Right.
that's not a campaign. So whenever you are breaking this out and you're given a short amount of quest cards that basically have a keyword and a small description that kind of give you an idea of where to go, you are not restricted to that in any way. Both with Sleeping Gods, like my favorite thing about this game is the fact that you're like, you start here, and it's like, all right, well, where do we want to go? And you can look at the map and you can be like, there's a town here, let's just go see what that is. Or hey, there's a mountain cliff up north, let's see what that's about. And you're encouraged to do so. So many of this game is go into a location and it asking if you have like three keywords, and if you don't, then it takes you to a certain section. And that might give you a prompt to go do something, which will then give you a keyword to when you come back, you get more options. But it it gives the perfect feeling of exploration. On top of that, the way that the game actually works in this one, with its combat system being like this grid-based puzzle on how you can attack and do damage in certain ways, um, will it kind of feels like a puzzle, which for this style game I really enjoy. Um, Distant Skies has more of a free-flowing character creation, where the cards that you're getting you can actually slot in and build your characters a little bit differently. Um, that's probably on the weaker end with the way that the characters work. You just have kind of a bunch of characters and they're not really fleshed out in like they are in some other games. Like Madara, you have the four characters and they're prominent characters in the narrative. Um, that's not necessarily the case here. The biggest strength to this game is a bunch of different items that you can use with your ship or with your plane, and the sheer amount of exploration and the multitude of different endings you can get depending
Hmm.
on how you went about the campaign. Um, yeah, just something about this world, Ryan Lockett's world, is incredibly captivating. Uh, I think that this game just hits all the right notes for me, and it's digestible. Like it's a campaign game that you could easily set up and tear down, and when you're done, you could be like, "Oh, okay," and then just, start up another one and go in different directions, or having some information that allows you to be like, "Okay, we didn't get this keyword, but now we know where to go to get that," and it just opens up so much more to this,
Right.
what feels like a living and breathing world. Um, so yeah, like I absolutely love Sleeping Gods. Their next game I'm super stoked about. That's technically not
Yeah.
Sleeping Gods, but it is Sleeping Gods,
What was
and
it like
that's what
Silver or something or
Songs of
song?
Silveranth, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
Um, is it Songs? Maybe. Like I
there we go.
BGG, why are they case sensitive? I don't like. Did you mean Song of Silveranth? I guess so. Yeah, this one I have seen some playthroughs of this, and it's like, okay, it's Sleeping Gods, but you didn't want to be in that world. Uh, very, very excited for this one too, but um, this game would not exist without Sleeping Gods or Distant Skies.
Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
my number 3, Sleeping Gods.
All right. My number 2. It is bounced around. It was 6 last year, so it rose from 6 to 2.
Okay.
It was 6, then 5, then 6, then 5, then 6, and now it's 2. So it's just bounced right around in here.
That's so funny.
And this is where my um favorite living card game falls, and that is Arkham Horror, the card game. Um,
I do
I
not have this
have
on your on
I
your list.
this one I have really gotten back into, through in 2025, thanks to Fletcher because he dove into it big time, and then he like kept asking questions, and it kind of got me jazzed about it again. So then I started playing it again, and I blew through because before all that started, I was like most of the way through the Dunwich Legacy
So
campaign cycle.
the second one.
Right, like most because I kept replaying and stuff. But
Yeah.
throughout 2025, I blitzed through Carcosa, I blitzed through Forgotten Age, and now I am halfway through Circle Undone.
Damn.
Um,
Nice.
so so I played a bunch of it this past year. Um, and not letting up, man. This is um there's so much out for this game. We both have
Oh, these
everything
are
for
cool.
it. Yeah. There's so much stuff out there in the 3D printing world for this game. Like I printed you a scenario folder. Um, that's like got your scenario deal, and it's got like tentacles holding up these things, and they're all like cockeyed and everything. So it's
Hmm.
it's just a neat little addition. But there's so much stuff out there 3D print wise. My next thing on my list is because those little cards that have the characters on them that is in that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, they have these frames. I think I showed you a picture. There's like these standee frames that are in the player, like the deck colors, like the blue, the green, all that stuff. And you
Yeah.
just slide that card down in there, and then it's almost like a standee that you move around with that deal, and it has your player color to keep track of stuff too. So when you're moving around, it just makes it that much cooler.
Cool.
Um, so I'm wanting to do that because I printed those for Chad too. And he really likes those. But man, the of course you get the classic Fantasy Flight uh Lovecraft art that
Hmm.
is on stuff, but they I like deck crafting, but the precons in this that they came out with were pretty solid too. Like when you and I were playing it that one time, I was Nathan Cho, the little
Yeah.
the Asian boxer dude that he just went up and started just punching stuff. But
Right. It's like some gothic winged horror, and he's like, "Come on!"
yeah, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Right.
But yeah, I mean this
Nathan,
game
what are you doing? Just gets flown off. Oh, that's what you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
right. So yeah, and they're still coming out with stuff for this, not as fast, but I like their new release cycle now where they're releasing the
No,
big
you
campaign
don't. You
box.
you threw a fit when they announced their revised core set.
Well, no, I'm getting that because it has new missions and new characters. I mean, I
I
already
remember a time
no,
when
I
you
know.
were
No,
like,
no, no,
"Fuck
no.
that, I'm not
Well,
getting it," and
because
I'm
I
like,
had
"Why? It's just an expansion."
yeah, I hadn't looked into it a whole lot. I just saw that at that point, but I've looked into it more and I actually have it pre-ordered.
Same.
So so
Well, actually, you don't have to have it pre-ordered. Our copy's locked with our subscription.
does the core sets come with
Hmm.
that? Okay, I'll just cancel the pre-order
Yeah.
then.
Well,
I
actually,
knew I did the expansions and
I
everything, but
may, I might be. I'll have to read it. I remember getting the email and it's like your copy is locked, and I assumed that meant we would be charged for it, but maybe it just
okay.
means that we're
Oh,
guaranteed to pre-order a copy. I
okay,
don't know.
I'll take a peek. But anyway, that's supposed to be in April. I think, is when
Yeah.
that comes out. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, there's so much for this game. The end is so much gameplay in this. Like they always say, like if you could pick like 5 games to keep, this would be one of them, just because there's so
Oh
freaking
yeah.
much, with
Yeah.
it. And
That's a
yeah,
top 10 we should do is like what is it, top 10 desert island games?
yeah, yeah,
Which is interesting because I mean I know you've brought that up to me before, and it's like, well, wouldn't that just be our top 10 games?
not
Um,
necessarily.
Not necessarily, yeah, if you could only take like in a vacuum like 10 games. Um, so yeah, I mean this one was it's not my top 10. Where was it? This one was number 19.
Okay.
Uh and so still top 20 and like kind of like TI or if I got this to the table more. My problem that I find myself is with campaign games is I want them to be for the channel.
Hmm.
And I know I've talked about this before. Luckily, I haven't quite dipped into well, if I'm not making content for it, what's the point?
Right.
But it's more of like I just think it would be fun as a series to
Right.
do. And I've done two of them, three of them actually. I think I've done Path to Carcosa, but one of them, the Dunwich Horror, was botched mainly because we tried to carry over characters.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
it's like
good.
you
Good
get
luck.
so fucked by sanity that I remember with Roland Banks, like my first two turns was him just drinking away. So I'm like, I gotta keep get rid of my starting sanity. So I think this might be a fun one. Maybe with the revised core set, I don't know, to kickstart, I don't know, maybe a solo series like I'm
Yeah.
doing with Marvel Champions or I don't know, but like kind of redo those videos.
Yeah.
Um, because I have kind of a better setup now.
But yeah, I mean this one, like, yeah, so I've had what the 3 LCGs in the top 10. Marvel Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings and
yeah,
Arkham Horror,
yeah.
you know?
To be fair, whenever I was writing out your top 10, I just could not for the life of me remember what you had
Right.
mentioned. Or I was so hung up on, well, he's gonna just put every chip theory game on here except Roth.
I've only had the couple on the top
I
10.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I'll mention which ones. Before you
Oh,
mention your
okay.
number one, I'll mention which ones I
I
thought
mean,
would have been in here.
it's probably obvious you know what my number one is at this
Oh
point,
yeah,
but
that's
go
true.
go ahead,
That's
go
true.
ahead, go ahead and do your number two.
My number two is new to the list, and I actually struggled with whether or not it would be number one. Um,
Oh,
and
over
you kept
because
think
I know what your number one is.
yeah, you kept thinking
The
it was Grim Coven, and I was
Yeah.
like, you're like it's Grim. I know what it is, and I'm like, no, I don't think you do, because you kept every time I mentioned Grim Coven, you're like, yeah, you're number two. I'm
Well,
like,
yeah, but
it's
well,
not.
because your boss bat it's a boss battler. Like
It is
that's
a
why I
boss
was like,
battler,
yeah.
but there's a genre of games that I like more than boss battlers, and they kind of go hand in hand sometimes. But it's this game I mentioned with
Oh,
Sleeping Gods.
I know what it is, I
I
think.
mentioned with Sleeping Gods, uh, there's a game that does there's no game that does sandbox better
Yep,
except
yep.
I mentioned Vantage, but this game is the other one that does it just as good,
Yep,
and that
yep.
is Aridia.
I haven't played it yet, man. I need to get this played.
It's so fucking good. The only
Yeah,
reason you might be like, well, why is it so high and not a 10? The only reason I have a reservation on it being a 10 is because it still has to stick the landing.
right,
Now we are, I think we're kind of almost at the end game in my campaign. I don't want to spoil too much, but there are certain things that happen that kind of feels like, okay, we're about to start getting to the end.
right.
Um, I mean, talk about a game that kind of took me by surprise because with Far Off Games, the only notable game that they've made is Zaya,
Right,
which I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't think it's bad by any means. I'm just like, okay, it's fine. But the amount of uniqueness that this game brings, I mean, just talking about pre-painted miniatures that are actually good. They have kind of like that advent calendar feel, not in a mysterious like, oh hey, what's in the box? Because like Oathsworn does, but the storage solution for this game, the sheer amount of exploration mixed with traversal. Like the travel system is quick. Getting from point A to point B is flipping a card over and seeing whether your terrain matches what's on there. And sometimes you just make it through and you keep going. Other times you might have to spend some stamina, but you're breezing through to get where you need to go. Sometimes an event will pop up in your travel deck, and it's like, hey, you come across a lady that's doing an arm wrestling match. There's so much whimsy and fantastical nature to this game. When you go to a new location that you haven't been to, you get to push down and pop it out. They do that style of physicality with the game that I've seen some other games do. Like, did you ever play that Co I think it's Cosmos, that Adventures of Robin Hood?
No.
Game. Okay, well they have the similar thing where you could pop out things from the board. Um, but it was so poorly made that you fucked up the game by doing it. I had to have a friend pull out his pocket knife so we can pry it out. Um, this game doesn't have it. It's like triple layered, so you can push it down and then pop it out. So ease of access for that. But then you go to a new location and you're like, oh, what's this gonna be? And yeah, it's sometimes a little fiddly because you pull out these maps, it like zooms in and you're like now in a town. Um, and it's grid based, but the only time that the grid matters is in combat. So a lot of times it's just like, why do we even pull out the map whenever you can just move there? But I always pull out the map on the first few visits. But then if it's just something that we're turning in like a quest or something, I'll just be like, okay, I just need to find out what the NPC is. Um, this game has an excellent element of role play. Whenever you're talking to NPCs, it'll give like a quirk that they have and what their demeanor is. So for people who want to get into role playing, see if it's something that you might be interested in, this game uh incentivizes it. It encourages role playing because you actually get like role playing points that you can use to modify a die roll for checks later. So I I mean, the experiences I've had, not only is this telling a story that you're trying to figure out what's happening, I mean, I have great, like hilarious moments. A great example is there's a moment where you're trying to go from one tile to the other, and to do that, you're actually diving underwater, and it's like, okay, whoever is doing this, you have to hold your breath and you have to roll a die and succeed on a check. And if you have to breathe, then you fail the check.
Oh gosh.
Um, and that kind of stuff I absolutely love. It's not quirky and shitty like some party games do. It feels very as close as any game as a D&D style board game. And then you go to combat, and the combat's great too. You have tons of different abilities. You have your role that you have. I love the fact that enemies, like as we're looking here, I can't zoom in, but the enemies have different dots on it, and the way your weapons attack will attack in a certain way. So whenever you're hitting, there are some enemies that I'll come across, and if I get a really good roll, I almost one-shot them just because the way the pattern happened to go. And even if you're fighting the same enemy, like, hey, you're fighting two lizard swordsmen, they will have a different pattern of ways to hit and critical spots and stuff like that. So it's not it's just they did literally everything right. It is damn near perfect.
So, question. How long does like a session take?
As long as you want.
Well, I mean like a mission, like
It's not scenario based.
oh, okay. I didn't
So
know if it
it's literally just you go out and explore. Like your goal is to get what's called squills, which are like these wooden tokens that you gain enough, you quit becoming an exile.
okay.
Um, but it's open ended. It's a sandbox game like Sleeping Gods is. So you want to
Okay.
play for 30 minutes, play for 30 minutes. You want to I usually for my videos try to cap it at an hour a
Hmm.
video. Um, and there'll be times where we'll come across like a boss or an enemy and it's like, all right, we should stop here because sometimes the combats can take a little bit, but so many things of absolute like shock whenever you're coming across a location that's like, oh shit, didn't even expect this to happen.
Right.
Um Now time will tell whether or not this game is replayable. I know obviously with the different characters, it might be as replayable as like Fate Forge, for example, just
Hmm.
longer. Because there are various locations and prompts that come up that depend on whether or not you're a certain like race.
Right.
Like we've come across locations. It's like if you have an orc in your party, this happens, and it's like we don't have an orc in our party. Um, but yeah, like I really have no complaints about it. It's not quite open-ended, with a shit ton of character builds. Because they have this grid. Let me see if I can find a picture. They have um okay. Well, down here, that is your grid for your body. So you have like left and right shoulder, left and right arm, left and right hand, and all those are locations that could be hit, which is really, really cool. No other game does this kind of stuff too, where you actually have different armor pieces that could be hit in different locations. Um, but because they're cardboard, they can't be as liquid with a bunch of stuff. So you do get to level up and you do get better gear, but it's not like like a swarm of just gear all the time. Um, but they do enough to where you get kind of really cool unique items and things like that that it is not restrictive, but not super. It's like a perfect right in the middle.
Yeah.
Um,
I look forward to
and then
getting
they
that
have
played.
yeah, they have this card tree or this card thing that you rifle through. Somehow you're in that quite a bit, but like somehow it just doesn't feel like the way Seventh Continent or Citadel does, where it's just kind of annoying to go into it. This game is so fucking good. Um, yeah, so it was easily my number two. I'm actually playing this tomorrow, which I'm always excited. Every time a session is coming out, I'm excited to play it because also the setup and teardown for this game is so seamless.
Good. Good, good,
So
good.
yeah, that is my number two. Probably should be a 10, but I would be very surprised if it doesn't end up being, a 10 out of 10 game for me.
All right.
Um, and I just hope Far Off Games and Cody Miller not necessarily support this. I mean, they have kind of with a mini expansion that adds fishing, but I would love if they continued making games like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been really hot one since the people have been getting their copies and stuff.
Yeah.
And then their reprint project that they put out that had the fishing thing with what gangbusters, like people
Oh
were
yeah.
wanting it and it just sold tons.
Yeah. So I think that bodes well for them, but yeah, I love it. So
All
that's my
right.
number two, Aridia,
All right.
one that you didn't even think of.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah.
And I've
Uh,
talked about this more than Grim
I
Coven.
know, I know. I just thought Boss Battler, brand new Boss Battler, it
Sure.
was gonna fly up to that was
Yep.
why.
And
Um,
it did. I mean, Grim Coven was
yeah,
number
oh yeah,
five.
yeah. Um, so before you guess my number one, this has been my number one. This is the third straight year
Okay.
as my
Okay.
number
Oh,
one.
yeah. So, yes. So I do know you're number one at this point. Here's
Yeah.
what I thought was going to make your top 10.
Okay.
20 strong.
That was down a little ways.
Did
I
you
don't
already
know.
mention it?
Yeah.
Damn it. Dragons of Etchinstone.
That didn't make my list because I haven't
It's
played
because
it enough to
it's
make it.
fucking sucks. This one would have been a new one to the list, which I forgot you said you don't have one, but I thought because you really liked Forest Shuffle.
That one was I played that a lot after I made this list.
Gotcha.
So
And then
it'll be on next year for sure.
okay. Probably not in the top 10 though.
No, no.
And then I thought you would have snuck Gloomhaven back in because we were
Nah.
currently playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It might sneak in because we're gonna be playing that system for a couple of years, it seems like. So,
Probably. Yeah. But I will say I got 5 out of 5.
yeah,
Or 5 out of 10. I
5 out of
got
10.
half.
Yeah,
If I wasn't dumb and thought of Shadows of Brimstone, I could have gotten
yeah.
it over.
But then you
Anyway, so
forgot about Arkham also.
and I forgot about Arkham, yeah.
Yeah,
Because again, I think by the time, well, no, to be fair, I wrote this list like last week.
right.
You did mention you were playing Arkham more, but I thought that might have been a case where you're playing it more, but you already made the list.
Yeah. No, I'd been playing it throughout the year, so it
Gotcha.
was all right. So my number one obviously is go ahead and type
Too
it
many
up.
bones.
Yep, yep. Like I said, 3 years in a row. Um, this is why, we had the flip-flop. This is why Elder Scrolls is 19, because I firmly like Too Many Bones better. Even though I love Elder Scrolls too. There's things that it does better, but as an overall project, like Too
Hmm.
Many Bones fits what I want more. Um, we talked about it when you brought this up. I can't remember what you said Too Many Bones was, and yours,
It
but
was 20.
20, yeah, that's right. Um, so this one rewards deep diving into your characters because there's each character has a lot of you're not it's you don't just want to grab a character at random and try because it's going to take you a little bit to learn it. Unless you're really good into the game and it's you kind of know what to look for. But if you're trying to teach somebody, I like that they have the complexity of the characters, at the top, so you can kind of give somebody a simpler one that kind of does their stuff. There's tons of dice in this game. Um, and I do like they kind of mess with this a little bit with Elder Scrolls as well, but like the bones system, so when you roll dice, if you don't get all the things you need and you roll bones, you collect those bones to be able to do something. So
Hmm.
it's so they aren't necessarily bad because the bone abilities are pretty good on a lot of those
Still
characters.
not great.
They're not
You'd
great,
rather
but I mean
not
it's
roll
right,
bones, but
right.
better than full-on misses.
Right. Um, and you can kind of create your characters in different ways, with their character sheets have different lines connecting to upgrade and do different stuff. Um, they get wild because Stanza has hers all over the damn place, trying to do different songs and stuff. But yeah, I mean my current favorite right now, there's still some I need to play some more. I still like Carcass. He was in the last one,
Hmm.
the one with the lava. I can't think of the name of it right now. Um, but
Oh God.
yeah, I can't
It
think of it.
is,
It's
it's
drawn.
not
It's
Undertow. It is, huh, what is it called? Is it Unbreakable?
Unbreakable. Unbreakable. Yep,
Okay.
that's it. So anyway, but Carcass was a character that came out during that campaign, and I like him because he does his stuff, but then he can also, when he kills something, he can take part of that creature to use it somehow.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a neat little deal. It's like that. But there isn't any characters I don't like. Now there's some I like Stanzas. I don't play her very often at all. I don't play the lab rats very much.
Lab
Um,
rats I thought were pretty cool.
they are,
Actually, I
but I
like
mean,
them.
as far as like just kind of how I play, like I always want to get a support, so I like to use patches as a healer and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, this one is you pick a tyrant, and that'll tell you how long your game is going to be more or less. You have X number of days or whatever to get there. Um, and that's your game. I mean, like I said, there are some definite things that I like with Elder Scrolls because there's so many tokens in this, like chips in this game.
Mm,
What they did with Elder Scrolls is they made them double-sided with different
yeah.
strengths on them. That was a big thing because it cut down on the number of chips. Um,
Yeah, that you have to shuffle depending on
right,
the
right,
tyrant type.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, the only part I haven't really messed with, and it surprises me. I really need to, but there was the Age of Tyranny, like those little, I guess the campaign kind of expansions.
Yeah.
I haven't messed with those a whole lot. I need to just to see what they do with a campaign with it because usually I'm just playing a one shot. I pick a tyrant, I
Sure.
jump in and go. I don't know what the campaign does, if it makes it more Elder Scrollsy or what it does, but there isn't really a nice save system for this game though, so that's why I think you just kind of make it the one shots and go. Um, but yeah, I mean, have everything for this game. I have the stupid pop-up book that
Oh, yeah,
the
I have
that
that
they came
too.
out with. And
It's more of a hindrance than anything.
it is, but I have everything for this. Like you
We have the gear, the brass mags
oh, I
for it.
know, so good. But like you were talking about your art and your game room, like whenever I get my game room like set up a basement finished and stuff, that BGG sells those movie posters. Like
Oh yeah.
You have Scythe and Gloomhaven and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They have a really cool Too Many Bones one I want to get and put
Oh
up because it's just
really? I did not
yeah,
know
because
that.
it's just a skeleton that's in there, and they have like these
Oh yeah, you're right.
the yellow like flowers coming up through it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, what
but
was it? Too
it's
many
artist series right
bones.
there. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep, right here.
Yeah. So I mean, I really want to just use those as my decoration in my game room. There's
I mean,
probably five or six that I see on their ones that they do, and just kind of
they're
put them
really
up.
cool.
What size do you have? Is it the 20 by 30, or did you go big?
Um,
Because I was trying.
I'd have to measure,
Oh, okay. It's not a
but
big deal.
I kind of went. I wanted movie poster
Yeah,
size.
that's what I want too, but I wasn't sure if that was the 24 by 36 because that those get expensive. But I mean, they're
Yeah,
still.
I maybe I did 20 by 30. Maybe I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean I can measure
you
for
can look
you.
sometime. Yeah, because I was just curious, like, because there's a handful that I wouldn't mind having for that. But anyway, back to the game. Um, if this always had that daunting feeling, like as far as people were like, man, it's such a crutch. But just like we talked about with several other games like TI and those, it's like once you sit down and learn the system, then it's all about pretty much just getting your character down,
Yeah,
and because that's the biggest crutch. Learning your character is the game. I mean, is learning the game more or less.
part of the fun.
Yeah. So, um, who knows next year what'll happen with this? Like I said, it's been 3 years running. Arkham Horror's making a big push though. That card game, I've played a ton, and
Yeah,
we'll see what happens next year with this one. But yeah, I mean that's really all I have to say about it right now.
nice.
So now
Yeah,
we
so
can.
for the Gearlock ranking, whenever I had this, these are old and I
Hmm.
barely remember what I put down. Um, my highest scoring ones was Gasket, Lab Rats, and Gilly.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
those
so
are the
now we can
Gearlocks I like the
now
most.
now we can start talking about ATO. The floor is
Yeah.
yours.
All right. My number one is new to the lit. No,
Yeah, right.
it is. I can't think of one. Um, yeah, Aeon Trespass Odyssey, almost surpassed, honestly. Because I, I'm still actively playing Aridia, and I paused ATO because Kingdoms Forlorn was coming out.
Hmm.
But now we're at a point where we're putting a pause on Kingdoms Forlorn until Wave 2 comes out. And after Devin and I finish our tournament, we're itching to hop back into this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was Into the Unknown's foray into the genre, and I mean, even still to this day, I have no idea how they were able to. This feels like when it's announced that it would be a scam game,
Right.
like
Yeah.
they would go on Kickstarter, steal a bunch of people's money, and they have kind of cemented themselves as one of the best companies within the campaign industry. Uh, like this combination of like otherworldly horror mixed with Greek mythology does just really works for me. On top of the fact that this game has easily like top three writing. The writing is absolutely exquisite for this game. Uh, we're talking about a lifestyle game where like each cycle takes a long time to play, and there are so many different like adventures within just one cycle that seem to match the full narrative campaigns that you're not going to even touch on. There are like five different adventure like sub stories that have
Hmm.
multiple parts to them that I think in our experience we've completed like two of them, two or three where we got from, and those have drastic consequences depending on your choices through them that'll carry all the way over
Nice.
through the cycle and even through other cycles. So your choices will actually change of later editions. Um, Now, to be fair, this game is not wholly original. It completely rips the battle system from Kingdom Death Monster. Um, so that's a tried and true system that is not their idea. but they do change it in a way that works better for me. So your combat in like KDM is as you're damaging the monster, it gets weaker. Like you
Hmm.
fuck up its legs, it can't run as far. Things like that, which I mean are thematic and make sense. Here, because you're fighting primordial beings, as you are damaging them, you make them stronger. And the same goes for you. As you get wounded with Titans, your rage goes up, and that gives you extra abilities. That is such an awesome system of every fight always feels like it's ramping up the entire time. Um, so with the various Titans, I know some people kind of shit on the crafting system in this game, and it is a little all over the place. It definitely could have been more streamlined. But I think best is if you just have one person running it. But they did manage to make your campaign be a lot more organized because they made this
Hmm.
binder that keeps your entire campaign stuff in one binder, and that is just so sexy. So this game has also helped a lot by its companion app. It's a fan-made app that drastically helps bookkeeping elements, and the same guy made one for Kingdom Death Monster, and it's virtually a necessity. But absolutely love the combat here, love the story, love the world. Um, and this is only Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I'm not even talking about their next game that's 12 Sins of Heracles that is virtually just as much content.
Yeah.
Um, I probably won't have both of those in the top 100. In fact, I know I won't. I'll just combine them whenever 12 Sins of Heracles comes out. But that seems to be like a more kind of improved version based off
Okay.
the demo that I've played for it. But yeah, I virtually have no complaints with this one. Um, who knows? I mean, it depends on how campaign games go. When you beat them, it's like, is it worth keeping them up if you're not touching them?
Right.
If you're not replaying the game. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I still have a long way to go before before I'm even done. So I would be very shocked if this one ended up being, not my number one.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's it. That is our top 100 games of all time for 2025. Um, yeah, that is Brad, you got any final thoughts?
I don't believe so. I mean, I've already started racking up the 2026 games for the year and stuff too, so we'll see
Oh, I thought
how
you meant I was
those,
like for I see, just overall.
yeah, just to
Like,
see how they'll jump in and change things up a bit.
yeah,
But
yeah. I keep a running list of that stuff as well, but I don't tie it into the top 100 till we're gearing up to do it. But
yeah,
yeah, so overall, fantastic games. We have I mean a little wonky in the listing, I think, like some random jumps and kind of like why is this here? At least for me. So I
we'll fix that.
think
We'll fix that next year.
yeah, I'm hoping that with next year we'll do two top 100s and then take the average of those games,
Yeah.
and that should give us a more accurate representation of where they go. But that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you think of these games in the comments below. And I'm over here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.